1, 2, 3, 4.
No.
Oh, there we are. Round of applause for the production team. Thanks, Jamie.
Good job, Jamie. Yeah, I'm riding the struggle bus over here today.
That's all good. I want to take this time to
Thank
shout out our plug, Dollar General. I forgot to get water bottles, but you know, if you live in Tuckahoe or Petersburg, Dollar General always has your back. Get a nice Propel, Tip Top Magoo. But yeah, that's why I'm late. I stopped at Dollar General, and you know, if you get in line there and there's only one register open, there's always like the grandma with the shopping cart full of stuff. And I'm like, for fuck's sake, just need a fucking water bottle here. They need to get a self-checkout at our Dollar General.
It's fucked up. They do have self-checkout Dollar Generals down south. Casey
They have
showed
them
me.
here. They have them in EHT.
Oh, no shit.
And
the
it's like,
Dollar General-
how's Upper not trustworthy, but fucking
Well,
Zion Road in EHT is. I'm not going to say anything, but
it's
it's
diverse.
formerly called the Zion Zoo for reasons unknown.
Jesus Christ.
My book bag today, normally I have stuff in it because I'll take the bike, but today there's nothing in it but water bottles and blunts. Just a jar with like 5 blunts in it.
That's
and
all
it's
that
a
matters.
quick NASCAR aside. It reminded me of the legend RIP Dick Trickle. He was known to carry an attaché case or a briefcase at the racetrack and like dress all formal and was trying to like look very professional. He was a journeyman. He didn't start racing in NASCAR until he was in his like 40s or late 30s or something. He's a dirt track guy, but he's a legend. He ended up killing himself. But
Good for him.
my book bag,
Is your Dick Trick-
CTE
Has to-
got kind of dark at the end. Anyway, he was the last guy to smoke cigarettes in the car during races. They actually had a rule passed where he had a cigarette lighter in his fucking center console
He's
thing.
only allowed
He
to
was
do it
smoke
through
under
yellows,
cars.
right?
Yeah. But my book bag, it reminded me of Dick Trickle because he used to carry this briefcase and like you would think there's like official sponsorship paperwork or something like official, and all he had in it was like
Smokes and-
Werther's hard candies and cigarettes. Or it might not even have been Werther's, but he had like hard candy and cigarettes, and like
That's-
that was all. Like you open his briefcase and it's just like 8 packs of smokes and like a bag of fucking caramels. It's just like he's like, I just want to look fucking official.
No, that's fantastic. I forget who the player is. I want to say it was Jerry Rice. There was I won't say the coach's name, but there was a coach I went to their training camp in high school, and apparently Jerry Rice used to walk around with the exact same thing, but it was just filled with like under the table like basically steroids like
Supplements.
yeah, like performance
From the
enhanced-
Mexican GNC.
Yeah, like he would come in and there's like stuff he would have. The one thing the guy described was there's this stuff that they use on racehorses. I know that it's real easy to make the analogy to giraffes because like they're the ones that they always describe in like your biology books. But do you remember the thing about how like some animals like you know, warm-blooded mammals have like larger cells, like, you know, for one reason or another, just like
I don't remember that actually.
Okay, so it's like giraffes are like the one with, it was like always the example because their legs have these like, they're regular cells, like, but they're just bigger and like you're able to like, I forget what exactly the scientific
Something to do with
reason.
like oxygen or some.
Maybe it's one of those ones where I completely like I was not.
I was
expecting-
not good in science.
Yeah, neither was I,
I
man.
tapped out so heavily.
I was not a-
Especially, I hated
I was
biology.
not a biologist, but
Just watch Attica for fucking 3 months.
Attica.
Yeah, that one too.
Not Attica. Attica's a prison. Attica. You're thinking of Dog Day Afternoon.
I don't know. I don't know nothing.
But yeah. Anyway, like they have this stuff. Basically, like horses have something similar where it's like they have this like lotion, like this topical lotion you can just like put on their legs, and it makes their the cell like division and growth like faster, so they can
It's
heal
like
faster.
T.O. in the hyperbaric chamber, getting that
Yeah.
fucking knee healed up for the Super Bowl.
Exactly, yeah.
But just in
like,
cream form.
In Mexican lotion form that I was squirting on people at fucking Sam's Club in a fucking surgical
Oh,
scope.
it's-
No, I'm just kidding. But like yeah, it was like this like topical lotion, and you put it on his like legs and his like arms and stuff like that after games because it would help speed up the
Stem
process.
cell juice.
Yeah. And he like one day the one coach like went over, took a hard look at at the it says like not for human use.
Oh,
Like,
Jesus Christ.
it's like literally made for racehorses. Like
That's funny as hell.
Yeah, I mean, but this
I
guy
think
was
you would slap a fucking Bengay sleeve on it just to fucking.
Yeah,
I guess it was a little more lax back then.
yeah,
but
this was like the late '90s, early 2000s, and it was like I think he was like
how many of you guys back then, not just in baseball, but just across sports, you think were like hitting steroids? Like,
Bro, that's a tough one, man. It's like
even now, they're still finding ways to push the envelope.
Mark told me that Brazilians in the like mixed martial arts, like anytime you see a Brazilian fighting a white person, just bet the Brazilian. They have like human growth hormone down to a science where it's like they treat that.
Pop.
Yeah, it's like they treat like hiding that you're on steroids, like treating cancer down in Brazil. It's fucking wild. Like,
I mean,
yeah.
I
They know
believe it.
where they're making money.
Yeah.
It's like the entire country's making money off sports betting.
It makes sense. It's kind of like how they still try and cheat in racing, but like back in the day, it was just like coming down to a science of how you can get away with like pushing the envelope. So it's like it's just a person that's a race car. You're like, how are we gonna fucking cheat this guy's tires up without fucking popping?
I have a good one this week. I have a good segue into because I want to talk NASCAR actually because you told me I want you to extrapolate on the Stenhouse. I wore the Sten
the
hat.
demise of
Because I want to hear about this, but I have a good one. This week is going to be aliens versus automotives.
Okay.
So
sounds interesting.
Do you want to Rochambeau for it to see who goes first, or do you? No, I want to talk actually NASCAR if you're cool with it. Like,
I just want to get. When I was peeing over there, I was like, I just want to get through it real quick.
Yeah,
like, just get it out of the way because
so-
I can keep it brief. I tend to go off on rambles like I did with Dick Trickle, but
No, but like that kind of it made me
pretty short summary to NASCAR this weekend. Saturday, they're in Sonoma, California, big road course. I think they used to call it Sears Point or something back in the day, but it's one of those.
Look at that.
It's like the original 6 of road courses. So like back in the day, they only ran 2 road courses. It was Sonoma and Watkins Glen. Now there's like 6 or 7, but this is one of the original OG road courses.
Question: does Williams Sonoma at all participate in it, and do they set up some of their kitchen and cookwares?
Question: who is Williams Sonoma? I saw Sonoma brand cigarettes in Dollar General just now, and I was like, wonder if they were at the fucking race.
Probably. You get
They
a
had the Zyn booth at the
free
fucking-
pack with every participant.
They used to be big, like cigarette booths
I
at the
know,
racing and Dover, but now I guess they're going more towards Zyn. There was like a whole Zyn fucking RV where you could just like go in, and I guess they give you free
hand jobs,
fake dip, and hand jobs.
They pack you a lip.
Who's Williams Sonoma?
Williams Sonoma is just it's like a cook. It's like Sur La Table. It's
Is it just his name? He's not actually from.
It's like I think it's like 2 last names combined to be a store where they sell like kitchen
But
appliances.
it probably has nothing to do with Sonoma,
No,
California.
absolutely. I was
didn't know
making
if they were based there.
I was being sarcastic in the sense that like I was like saying were they setting up their cookwares to demonstrate?
Yeah, they ran all the snack bars. They announced it on the broadcast.
Basically, okay, right on. That was a dumb joke. I'm really sorry.
I was lost.
Yeah, me too.
Somewhere out there, someone got that.
So
I'm a bit of a dolt. So normally, like in weekends, there'll be 3 races, like either trucks or ARCA, Xfinity, and then Cup. And then this week, I didn't catch the ARCA race. I think it's weird. There's like the ARCA main.
You did. There was the guy with the Mexican guy with the goofy voice.
That's Xfinity. It's Daniel Suarez. He's a Cup driver. They'll feature some drivers in the Xfinity broadcast, but he's got such a
Victory Road.
He's in other broadcasts it wasn't as noticeable, but like this one I was like, God damn! Like he was doing like the proper Spanish where they like talk like they have like a lisp or
Suarez.
something. No, they do like that.
Oh,
He's like
I know.
very impressive.
Like Canelo when Canelo
And I'm
speaks
like,
English.
it sounds
yeah.
like a gay lisp or something. It was he I forget what he said, like impressive or something, and I was like, what the fuck? I mean, I can't speak 2 languages. I was just breaking balls, but
I went to my daughter's quinceañera, and she was very, very happy to see me. She filled my heart with
he's
amor.
the man too. It's
It's
just like
it's just
as far as like NASCAR's base, like I know there's fans like down south that are like, why the fuck they got this beaner in the broadcast? I can't even understand them. Like it's
probably
1000%. Like
Absolutely.
come on, can't stand this Suarez. My damn landscaper named Suarez. Fucking
bad enough they got that one pitching for the Philadelphia Phillies. He's named after a truck, so we'll give him
they're
a
pretty
pass.
good at baseball, but they too good at driving. He only got 2 wins in 9 seasons.
I mean, maybe if he got
He needs
all
to
8
give
of
it
his, maybe got all 8 of his cousins out of the
He
car.
needs to
every
put on a
time.
damn luchador mask, do some of that wrestling. He's a
He's
pretty
the-
cool wrestler.
I mean, Eddie Guerrero and the 619.
I like that.
was racing.
Rey Mysterious was pretty cool. was pretty mysterious.
I don't even watch wrestling, but I do know like a very brief window of like when The Rock was popular and like Steve
He ain't
Austin.
no Spaniard. He's from fucking goddamn
Los
what's
Angeles.
What's that damn country? It's
That country,
it starts
San
with an
Diego.
S. Samoa. I wanted to say Sonoma, but it's Samoa.
Sonoma.
Rock's family's from Samoa.
Who? The Rock?
The Rock. His
Oh,
dad's
yeah.
like from Samoa. I think The Rock was.
That's-
You want to call him Rock?
Dwayne Rock.
The Rock, formerly known as Rock, or
Mr. Rock.
currently known as
Dwayne-
Mr. Rock.
Mr. Rock.
Rocky,
Rocky Dennis.
my dog. He's a wrestler.
But no, so what was yeah, you didn't watch Arca, you watched the thing. What was the drama in Arca?
I didn't.
our-
I didn't catch the ARCA race.
Did our chick
so there's
Hannah
like
chick, was she racing?
No, I didn't catch it, and I was trying to get to is there's like the main ARCA series that I guess runs the East, and then there's like the ARCA West, which is like never televised. I think it might have been on like FS2 or something, but I didn't even know it was on, so I missed that. One of the Xfinity guys won the ARCA race, so it's kind of like meh. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of like when the Cup guys go down to Xfinity and win. It's like meh. So I didn't even bother rewatching it, and I don't even know who's in the ARCA West series. It's probably a good show, but I didn't see that one. So we'll cut right ahead to Xfinity on Saturday. Real short story.
Cutting forward.
Moving on. I mean, there was a few storylines. Ty Gibbs and SVG are the dominant cars.
Who's SVJ?
Shane Van Gisbergen, he's the Kiwi, the New Zealand guy.
Oi.
He's from. He raced in V8 supercars in Australia, which is
He's
like
racing
all
juice?
road courses. Yes, he races tomato juice. So he's very good at the road courses because everything they run out there is road courses. So he's won the last 2 weeks in a row. I'll spoil it. He wins the race this week. But Ty Gibbs gets involved in some pitch strategy, and then he has to cycle through, and then there's a wreck in the middle of the field. So it was going to be Ty Gibbs versus SVG. Ty Gibbs wrecks out, does a donut because he was so pissed about this wreck with like 10 cars, and ends up clipping his own teammate and ending his day too. So then everyone was. Ty Gibbs is the grandpa's son
Yeah.
because grandpa owns Joe Gibbs Racing.
Yes.
And he's a Cup driver.
And he looks like he's 11 years old.
He fucking had a temper tantrum and then ruined an Xfinity Series regular's day, who's actually racing for points, not just going out for funsies. So Pete got a lot of grief on Twitter about that.
Good. Stupid.
I try so hard to like him, and he just does fucking
He looks like an
temper
asshole.
tantrum brat shit.
He looks like an asshole.
He's actually like I've seen him on podcasts and stuff. He's a pretty likable guy. But
I
yeah,
know, but
he
he's-
has the look for
He
sure.
looks like if like this was like a movie, Jesse Plemons would play him, and I would just be like, fucking Fat Damon's
he's young too.
Yeah,
not
I
to
know,
cut you off.
he's
only
11.
like
He looks 11.
He's like 20 or something. He's really young. He might be early 20s. I might be butchering that, but so it comes back down to the SVG Austin Hill show at the end there. There was a few other guys in contention. I'm not remembering specifics. I didn't write notes on this, but SVG gets one back. Austin Hill early in the year at your favorite circuit, COTA.
Yep.
Austin Hill punted SVG out of the way in turn one on one of the last restarts. And then they battled it out, and Kyle Larson somehow snuck by him as they were battling for the win. So it didn't really matter. But Austin Hill kind of ruined SVG's day earlier in this
SVO.
Law and Order SVG. Fucking boy, that's some fucking good racing, mate. So
Who raped my car?
so they've kind of got a little bit of a rivalry going here, and it's it ends up being the final restart with like 5 to go. They're coming into turn 4, really battling it out door to door here. Hill kind of squeezes SVG into the grass. SVG kind of leans back into him and just fucking uses him up completely into turn 4. Gets by him not clean, actually. Gets by him very much contact.
Okay.
Contact. Didn't punt him, like didn't fucking put the bumper to his rear end, but he kind of just overshot the corner. And then they say 8 brakes are better than 4 or something. So he used him as his brake, kind of like going through the turn, slid into him and just kind of used him as a wall, and then
Very nice.
drove right by him and took the win. But that led to one of the best photos of the year in racing so far, if not the best. SVG does this rolling burnout around the track and like drifts the corners and stuff as his celly, if you will.
Okay.
And Austin Hill like slowed down because he was like kind of pissed at him, punting him out of the way for the win. And he slows down trying to like impede it, and then SVG is just doing like this fucking rolling burnout, like right behind him, like taunting him. And then one of the photogs. One of the photographers gets a picture. It's Austin Hill with his middle finger out the window, and then it's SVG right on his bumper doing this like massive burnout. So there's smoke going off of it, and he's just getting flipped off. It was poetic.
That's very nice.
And then Austin Hill, he's a great driver. He's got 3 wins this year. He's definitely going to make his way up to Cup eventually. But he does this thing where he's a bit of a bully. He's a big boy. He's a bit of a bully, and he always complains. Like, he's got a bad attitude in the press conferences. It's always someone else's fault. So he gets a lot of flack. So everyone loves SVG. So Austin Hill got completely fucking ratioed. Everyone was so happy to see him get fucking dumped because he tends to do that type of racing himself. So. And then he gets out of the car and he's like, "Oh, I don't." They're like, "What happened on that? That final restart there where SVG got into you?" And he's like, "Well, I don't really want to comment on it. I'll just let the keyboard warriors keep commenting because no matter what I say, I'm wrong." So he just kind of dug himself a little even deeper. Shouldn't even have touched on it, but he kind of admitted that it was, it's in his lexicon that he is seeing it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So he shouldn't have pulled the Rogan. Shouldn't have acknowledged any of it. Shouldn't even be reading the comments. Should just be focusing on racing. But he's another one of those guys that like I try to like. He's a good driver, but then he just kind of fucking fumbles the ball.
Shoots himself in the foot.
He should wait. I don't know if you can, but he should wait 20 minutes before his fucking interviews. But I think they get you right out of the car. Emotions are high. I get it, but you just keep shooting himself in the foot. But Austin Hill still finished strong. I think he had a 5th or 6th, and that's really all there is to talk about in Xfinity. It was a great race. It was better than the Cup race, and the SVG Austin Hill battle was one for the ages. And then Sunday, I think there was 16 different lead changes. Ends up being a bit of a wreck fest the first half. There's a repave, something with the tires. They were slipping and sliding all over the place, but I guess it rubbered in, if you will. That's what all the phrase that the NASCAR guys use, that the track took rubbered in. So not many cautions the second half. Bit of a big wreck in the middle of the race. Austin Dillon and like 8 other guys. Josh Berry blocked too late on Eric Jones, and it's the corner where it's like it's tight. It's a real tight like sweeping turn, and there was like 10 guys there, and Josh Berry just like bowling, like just came and steamrolled the corner. Just took out like 8 fucking cars. Calamity corner.
Nice. That's fun. I want to see that. That was good.
There, it was exciting. Road course racing with the new NASCAR Cup Series car tends to get a little stretched out, and there's not much going on. But this one, there was a bunch of cautions, kept stacking the field back up, kept it entertaining. Right before the big wreck, I thought it was impressive. Bubba Wallace got shoved in the grass, and he just raced through the grass doing like a $150, just stayed on it and just floored it and made it back onto the track. And I was like, holy shit, that was pretty cool. And then there was a big wreck, so they barely he wasn't really involved in it. He got around the wreck, but right before that, it kind of got overshadowed by the wreck. But it was like, he didn't panic or like I would have slid right into the damn fence, but he just kept his fucking foot on the gas, and like you could see like smoke flying and dirt flying and everything. He just at race speeds through the grass. It was like nuts. Like got a little sideways.
It is Bubba Wallace. He's used to police cars behind him.
Yeah, he's good at being chased. Yeah, he's got some experience. But yeah, the Cup race is kind of all over the place. Kyle Busch gets punted on the last lap. Needed a good race. He was set to finish 5th. Our boy Ross Chastain, the Watermelon Man, not give a fuck tore his back. He's been known to punt a person or two in his time, so he just fucking absolutely dumps Kyle Busch and takes the top 5. Saw the pay window was open, and he said, fuck you, bud. And then to add insult to injury, Kyle Busch is going to have a top 10, a 6th place finish, and he runs out of gas in the last turn. Not to be overshadowed by Martin Truex Jr., set to finish P2, gets passed with 3 or 4 laps to go or something like that by Kyle Larson, the eventual winner. And the same thing, coming into the last corner, runs out of gas, finishes like 30th. And he was going to have a DNF, and they have some trick, I guess, with the starter motor where they can get it. They try and start it, and they have it in gear, and it pulls it forward like 2 feet.
Yeah, and you just let it in neutral.
He crossed the finish line. It took him like 4 minutes or something. Like
Holy
the guy's
shit.
doing his donuts. Kyle Larson's doing his donuts or whatever, and the crowd's going nuts. And he gets a bigger pop for when he finally inches across the finish line.
Yeah.
Because there is a difference if you get a DNF versus a finish. There's points differences or whatever. But it was a bit of a chaotic race, and then it kind of simmered out. There was some storylines I'm missing there. Joey Logano had a lead at one point, and then he got caught up in some wrecks.
Talk about the only thing I want you to talk about, which is the fucking spin
I'm gonna
house.
get to that next. I know I hate Kyle Larson, but this is one of those ones where I could see it coming. Kyle Larson did a little bit of a different pit strategy. He had fresher tires. He was able to close the gap on Buescher and Truex pretty swiftly, and it was one of those ones where I normally hate when Hendrick wins, but like you could see it coming. Like it was kind of undeniable, and I almost appreciated the skill and like I don't know. Like you hate Tom Brady, but when you see him do a fucking 2-minute warning, it's like as long as it's not against the Eagles, you're like, this guy's pretty fucking good. Like I can't argue it. I wasn't like, yay, Kyle won, but I was like, let him cook. Like I can respect that. That was. Like the team was firing all cylinders, gave him a good pit stop. He came out, he fucking passed a bunch of cars. Like I was like, I'm not stoked about it, but I have to respect the greatness.
I mean, I will say the analogy is like, especially against the Phillies, because this always fucking happens. Like there's a guy like Alvarado, for example, because this was, and I'm just gonna touch on this briefly.
Sure.
Over in London over the weekend, they played 2 games. The first game they took, second game they had a lead for most of the game, and then they
make them use cricket bats.
Yeah, it would have been fucking great. I would have fucking yeah. Like fucking on the first night, there was a game-winning home run by fucking Bryce Harper, and he did a soccer celebration and like slid
That's
it on
electric.
his knees. Yeah, everybody went fucking bananas for it. But yeah, the second day they put this dude they have it's a relief pitcher. His name is Alvarado. The guy can throw a 99-mile-per-hour fastball 2 ways, like splitter or fucking just straight fastball. Motherfucker,
bring in the heat.
Yeah, motherfucker somehow inherits 2 base runners and like lets up a home run, but it was like one of those home runs where it's like I'm not even mad. That was a fucking like that
Just
guy got all of it. Got like every
As
single.
soon as it came off the bat, you knew. It's like
sound,
you had time to
yeah.
brace for it. Like, you're like
Yep,
it's over.
I was like, nope, that's it. That's the game over, baby.
Yeah.
Like,
It's just one of those ones where you know it's coming, and like
so
I
like,
was praying for with this like. Truex and Buescher are way ahead. Truex is faster than Buescher, but it's hard to pass, so you can't get around him. So Buescher's essentially slowing both of them down, which it was kind of a perfect storm for Larson to creep in there. I'm praying for Truex eventually gets around Buescher, and I'm praying for Truex is my guy. He's from Jersey. He's from fucking Square Grouper, fucking
dude.
whatever the fuck.
fucking
Tuckerton.
bricks, yeah.
I'm rooting for him.
Shit.
And but I know you see it coming. Like as soon as the ball comes off the bat, like you know it's over. It's like Kyle Larson has fresh tires and he's one of the best drivers in the world. Like Truex is one of the better road course guys, but he had super old tires. Like it wasn't even Truex's fault. He did everything he could, and it was just one of those ones where I accepted defeat, and I wasn't even mad at it. It was a good race, and but the demise of Ricky Stenhouse. I don't know if he would have finished top 10. I was being optimistic when I texted that to you. He did fall from P2, but that was all pit cycle. He stayed out longer, kind of, ran some laps towards the front, but he did have to pit. He was going to have to cycle back in the field some, but he was in the top 20 all day. I think worst case top 20, likely top 15, and then if he had a good showing at the end, he could have finished top 10. He wasn't going to finish P2. He wasn't going to win the race.
I mean, that's understandable.
By any means.
Yeah.
But
especially like a road course, like from the limited knowledge I do have of that, it's very hard to make, like, because sometimes you get into those like break apart positions, and then those break apart positions become, it's like almost like you're not even competing for like the first like top 5. You're competing for like top like 18
you're competing
because
for the guy in front of you.
Yeah, because that guy is like the next cluster of guys. Like I get where you're coming from with that.
Spreads out, and he was in no danger of winning. But I was sending Joe updates. he was in like the top 20, and then like the pit cycle stuff. He went from like 9th to 4th to 2nd.
He's gaining.
Then someone else pit, and Larson passed him, so he ended up staying. He should have cycled to 1st, but Larson's just got a fucking rocket ship. So on that pit cycle, Larson passed him or whatever. He stayed in 2nd. He held 2nd off for a while. And I think with the pit cycle, he would have came out between probably 15th, 18th, somewhere around there, and then could have maybe worked his way back up again, or just even if he maintained a 15th, it's a good day for Ricky.
Respectable.
Anything in the top 20 for Ricky is like, that's a good fucking day.
The name's on the television.
Top 10 is like a win. Yes. Name is on the television is huge for that team.
Yeah.
which they did.
Name's on the YouTube channel, Ricky. We like
Shout
you.
out to Ricky Spinhouse.
Millhouse.
I love him even more from that Nos commercial where he takes
so
shots
fun.
at himself. He's
That's
like, was
great.
that fast? And they're like, no. That fucking one gets me every time. But it gets even the greats. The old speeding on pit road penalty. He fucked himself. Ended up, I don't know where he ended up finishing. Maybe 30th, maybe 28th, somewhere in the back half of the 20s or in the 30s. Not a good day for Ricky, but you want to be like, he'll figure it out. But he's in like his fucking 14th year of racing. It's one of those ones where
buy more hats. It makes him win more.
Maybe. He did just sign an extension, so he's locked in for the next 3 or 4 years. He's good. He has a ride, but that's one of those ones. I hate fucking pit road speeding. I get that it has to be safe. I get you don't want pit road workers
make it dangerous.
getting killed on pit road like the guy in the 90s at Atlanta. Fucking Ricky Rudd just creamed him into the afterlife. R.I.P. I forget. I used to know his name off the top of my head, but I can't remember it. But yeah, that's why there's all that pit road. I get why, but I love it when they're like, oh, Kyle Larson speeding on pit road. It's like, fuck yeah, it knocks that guy out of contention. But like when it fucks up the guys I'm rooting for, I'm like, this is gay. Like, I don't like it. I get why it has to be there, but it's just there's a guy who's having an out of character good run, and then it just to get foiled by doing 50 and a 45 when there's not even a like if you're gonna have pit road speeding penalties, give these guys a fucking
you gotta spit roast.
Give these guys a fucking speedometer.
Yeah.
There's no speedometers in these cars. I don't know if that's for XYZ reason, but they set their pit road speed by the tachometer. So they're like, when I'm in second gear at 3,000 RPMs, that's my pit road speed. And I feel like that's too fucking
vague,
loose. It's just so easy to fuck up. They get multiple guys every race. I get it adds to the storyline. You put a fast guy in the back, watch him come to the front. It's exciting. That I get it, but it's just such a bummer for Stenhouse Racing to fucking soil the day like that. I was having a lot of. I knew that he's only up there because of the pit cycle, but I'm like, dude, Ricky's in P2. That was keeping me going in the middle of the race when it kind of spreads out there. Like I was so juiced just taking those pictures to send to you.
I got all of those pictures in one fucking shot, and then I'm like, holy shit. I sent it to you
at 1 a.m. And I was watching the DVR.
And I'm like, what the fuck happened? And then you're like, he got a
then I have the video.
Ticket.
It's like, pit road police are out. Ricky Stenhouse, the broadcast called him Stenhouse. Ricky Stenhouse, nav for speeding. That's going to take him to the back. And I was like, fuck!
Oh, man.
I had to rewind it, record it, send it to you. The way Mike Joy announced it was super funny.
Yeah.
So, yeah, our boy Ricky had a rough one.
Re-race. Redo.
I don't even remember the final running order. Larson won. Truex was fucking supposed to take a second. McDowell, I think, ended up taking a second.
McMuffin.
Big for that guy. He had a real rough day. Where
did Chastain finish?
I think 5th or 4th.
Okay.
I think he might have got Elliott for 4th at the end. That was a bit of a controversy. And, of course, Fox doesn't show any replays, and they cut right to fucking UFL football. They only interview Larson. They don't interview anyone else, and they go right to UFL football.
We got to track, like, we got way off track last week with the fucking the AI Joe Buck. But, Fox's broadcasts in general have just been suffering. But
it's a massive complaint on the NASCAR side. I don't
same with the baseball. Same with the baseball. But yeah,
I know how are they with football? I don't think they have any of the other sports. I don't think they do basketball, right?
No. FS1 or 2 had WNBA last night, but it was like also simultaneous. Holy shit! I've been getting into some fucking arguments on. I got not shadow banned, but ESPN put some kind of kibosh on a comment I made where people were liking it, and I was seeing that people were liking it, but I'd go to my comment, it would have no likes. I don't know what the hell that's all about.
They do that on like Instagram or something now too. I saw that. Where it's like people are no longer allowed. You could see the comment, but you couldn't like it. It's like, this goes against our standards or something.
So I made a comment. They were like, someone just like asked about, like, it was a Caitlin Clark versus that chick, as Ian put it, that looks like female Dennis Rodman. That said she was
the
going to
chick who got caught with the hash pens in
Russia. Not her. Not Brittany Griner. It was someone else. Her name was like Dominica, I think, something. but she,
Lisa
yeah.
Leslie. That's
Is
the
it?
only one I remember
Oh,
from
no.
like the night. Remember the Ella?
No.
When the
No,
That's
absolutely
fair.
not.
Back in the day when the WNBA first happened, Lisa Leslie was on the Los Angeles Sparks, and they won many championships. And Lisa Leslie was like
Most of those
the
games going
goat.
to double digits.
Yes, Lisa Leslie was like the goat of the WNBA back in.
Dude, trashing the WNBA is so much fun.
It's
because
easy, it
makes-
does it, it writes
makes,
itself.
It makes them so mad. But no, the lady said that she was gonna smack the shit out of Caitlin Clark and some other, I don't know, mild racial shit. I don't
You
really,
white bitch or something.
So-
I saw
something
that.
like- yeah,
People
that,
were like,
like-
read her lips. What did
Yeah.
she say? And it was something to do with
yeah,
race.
I don't fucking know. It
Who
was
gives
just,
a fuck?
Exactly. So just that.
What'd you comment?
So they were like, it was that article. It was just about like, hey, like this was what happened, and someone asked how many people were in attendance at that game, and I said both of the WNBA fans were in attendance.
They were both very
and
upset.
present. And yeah, I got like a whole bunch of like angry comments that I couldn't respond to, and then, like I got like a whole bunch of likes, but it wouldn't like visibly show the like
you
meter
got-
going
you got
up. I got
fucking
shadow banned on the old YouTubes. It was funny though. It was well worth it. I don't know. Every chick at work is like so butthurt about that. They're like, and they get annoyed that I don't know who she is, but it's like I don't watch basketball, let alone women's basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, I don't know.
Hot topic. Like I don't know.
I see their side of it where it could
Why?
be something they're into, where it's like a lot of people will be like, "Oh, NASCAR's dead. It's not what it used to be."
You can see by viewership how minimal people watch WNBA, which is kind of the irony of it. We have a
Yeah.
lot of data on this, and it's no.
I know NASCAR's not comparable to the WNBA because NASCAR used to be like iconic, like would bring more numbers than football, and it's not that anymore. So like, there's always a ton of people being like, "NASCAR's dead. NASCAR's on its way out." Or it's like, no, fuck you, it's not. Where
WNBA is on its way out.
I could see a chick being like, no, I love the WNBA. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just being contrarian, a cunt
No,
to
but
you.
no. That's I know you make a good.
But did they even watch it?
That's just
that's
it.
the point
yeah,
I
it's like,
beg.
no, I know,
to
absolutely
ask.
not. Like we've
So
never
it's like,
watched.
shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it's like it's one of those
Go
things.
to a game, wear a fucking WNBA shirt.
Yeah, go buy some
support,
merch.
Yeah, support
like-
fucking.
Like I don't have any problem with you liking it. It's just why are you expecting me to like it because you like it? It's like you don't like poker. I don't expect you to come to the casino and root me on while I play. Like
I do.
I mean,
I need someone in my corner.
yeah, but no, like I just it's one of those like I don't care, and my apathy annoys them because they make it seem like I'm supposed to care about it because they are supposed to care about it because they're I don't know, like I don't know. I don't want to say conditioned. I feel bad because it makes it seem like they're, but it's like it's an impressionable thing where it's like a lot of these people live on social media, a lot of which are like bored women and like
Even hockey is one of these like kind of fringe niche sports where it's
Yeah.
like I don't get upset if people don't like hockey.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
same.
who gives a
Like,
fuck? Like
yeah.
a lot of people don't give a fuck about hockey.
Exactly.
Hockey is not of the big four, like we talked about football, baseball, basketball, hockey. Hockey's number 4, like by far. Like not in my heart.
No,
but, like,
I know,
in,
but like yeah,
in a rating sense,
yeah.
and like
the playoffs
just-
are on right now. Game 3 of the Stanley Cup is tonight or
I
tomorrow.
haven't watched
think.
any of it. I don't follow hockey at all, but
Yeah, go
I don't know.
Oilers. I hope the Oilers win. That's all.
it's one of hockey. It's weird. It's one of those
Edmonton.
things. I could go to one open hockey and then I'd be like, I'm gonna watch a hockey game tonight. Which is just like
I'm gonna
get, like,
fall asleep eating
hyper-fix-
peanut butter.
I get hyper fixated on one thing. So it's like obviously I'm big into racing right now. It's like
Yes.
then in 2 years I'll be like, I'll watch a race every once in a while, and then I'll probably be watching hockey every night again. Like I go in these weird
pornography,
cycles.
intermittent pornography.
Yeah.
yeah. That's what I do usually. It's like I get really obsessed with something till I'm like, oh yeah, porn exists, and then I go back to fapping my problems away.
That's not usually what I trade out professional sports for. But I used to watch everything when I was betting. I used to watch a lot of football.
Yeah, it's
I
fun.
root for who I bet, cocksucker.
I enjoy throwing like $2 on a baseball game just because it's like it's the only thing on right now. I'm like, yeah.
Apparently, race betting's electric because it's pretty chaotic
fun.
on how it's going to finish, and a lot of people had a lock for Truex. I think won the last 2 Sonoma races, or the last 2 out of 3, or something like that. And there was a good odds bet at him to finish top 5, which
And he
he was
did
going to
not.
do P2, and then he runs out of gas right before the fucking start finish line. People were going bananas on gambling Twitter about that one.
bet.
Specifically Dale Tanhart. He's a funny one. He's in a lot of the memes. You'd recognize him. He's the guy who wears like the baseball hat and like the racing gloves and like the weird gargoyle like sunglasses and pretends he's fucking. Few people will know what I'm talking about, but
Leave a comment if you know what Jake's talking about.
someone does. But yeah, just to close out the NASCAR segment, Larson wins. He deserved it. SVG wins. He's a fucking master at the road courses. And the thing that sucked too, besides Stenhouse blowing it, was I root for Denny Hamlin a lot, and he fucking blew up on lap 2. His motor just blew up. They just show him going down the backstretch and just white smoke pouring out of it, and then people were hitting the oil and just flying into the wall. John Hunter Nemechek, he sucks 1,000 dicks.
If I'm
He's
going
in the
down,
back.
everybody's going down.
He's John Hunter Nemechek. He's I don't even think he's a rookie technically, but it's his first year back in Cup after he was in Cup before, gets sent back down in the minors. Now he's back up in the bigs, but he's in a dog shit team. He's running around in the back. He's trying, whatever. He's the one who careens through the fucking oil right into the fence, and then they have him on the radio. He's like, "Did I get into the fence?" He's like, "It ain't steering too good." They're like, "Yeah, you hit the wall a ton, dude." He's like, "Yeah, the right side's killed." His day was just fucking done.
He just wanted it to not be that.
Unfortunate domino effect for John Hunter, but yeah, that's NASCAR.
All right,
congrats to Larson and SVG and fucking Ricky. Fucking dial it down on fucking pit road, bud.
No, man.
Damn.
Ricky.
And then Tommy had a good week this week. I forget.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was last week or this week. He qualified P2 and finished in the top 5 or something. We got to get our boys' results.
Yeah.
Tommy and Brendan.
We need the box scores.
Blacktooth Racing. We got Brendan. I'll read his later. He had a
Good
up
week.
and down day, but I think he was happy with the results.
Okay.
He hurt himself and kept fucking going. He's a savage.
Damn, man. Brandon's a fucking...
Not in the race. He rolled his ankle getting the bike ready or something. and then,
okay. I thought you meant you put the bike down. And I'm like, God damn, dude.
Nah, he had a sprained ankle and just raced anyway and had a real tough time, but still came home with a respectable finish. And it was the most difficult track on the circuit. So
good for you, Shep.
B-Shep gets it done. Shout out to B-Shep and Tommy.
Okay. So aliens.
On to Mexicans or
aliens.
was it Japanese people?
No, it was
You
aliens.
sent me some Japanese shit before.
What? It just literally was a picture of a samurai warrior and then 2 nuclear bombs and then a weeaboo chick with a mask on doing the peace sign, and it just says a brief history of Japan. And
you said something like Samucho's a hero in this house or something.
No, I sent you a picture of fucking Tony Soprano as Chris Chan, who's wearing a Sonichu. And it says, Sonichu is it's supposed to be the Columbus. You don't badmouth Columbus in this house, or whatever the fucking line was.
I got confused.
Do you know who Chris Chan even is?
No.
Okay, then.
I have 4chan.
No, he's a person, not a website. He's the guy that transgendered and then got caught for fucking his mom and has to do prison time over that now.
You could go to prison for fucking your mom?
I think he was prostituting himself out at some point. There's a whole Nick Mullen
Sounds like Boardwalk Empire.
No, it's disgusting Maryland people, and that's you look it up on YouTube. Go find Cumtown Nick discusses Chris Chan.
Right. Comment if you know Chris Chan or Dale Tanhart.
Which
one do you know?
I guarantee you more people know who Chris Chan is. Just Google him real quick. You probably would recognize him. He's an early internet meme from 2002, 2003, and he was this weird kid who had autism that thought that he could make his own comic book of
Dale Tanhart.
I have no idea who that
He's
is.
in a ton of racing memes.
Why is he wearing an Atlanta Braves batting helmet?
I don't
is he
know.
From Atlanta?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
It's just supposed to look like a racing helmet or something.
Oh,
like an open face. He's doing a spoof of Dale Earnhardt.
I get that part, but he looks goofy.
I think that's just to be comedic. This is what he normally looks like. It's just a dude with a mullet from Mississippi or something.
Mississippi. Very
He's
nice.
the man. He's funny. He does a lot of. You'd actually like him. He's big into sports betting, so he does.
Okay.
He has a whole race betting YouTube, Twitter platform, and he does a ton of funny memes and shit too. Shout out Dale Tanhart. He gets a lot of hate, but I like him.
Well,
Chris Chan. That's what I was supposed to look up. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
This is the ADHD podcast where
You've said that 3 weeks in a row. We need to get you on Adderall, sir. Actually, that would be fun to just do Adderall for.
Is that?
Yeah, Chris Chan. He was a meme in the early 2000s. He's this autistic guy that was trying to force a meme before there was really the
Is that a chick who became a guy? Or
No, it's a guy who became a chick.
So this is before.
Yes.
So I was if that's him post op. That's a pretty fucking good job.
Nope, that's him.
free.
That's him while he was, I guess, fucking his mom. And yeah, it's I don't
He was
know.
fucking his mom pre-op.
Yeah.
Why?
Like, he's a fucking weird
I'm
dude.
confused.
It's like I said, there's a whole Nick Mullen rant on this. He's just a guy who the whole Sonichu thing is he combined Sonic the Hedgehog and Pikachu and was trying to make a comic book out of it and was getting into racial tirades on like message boards and shit in the early 2000s about all of that. I'm telling you, someone will know who he is. Like,
Oh, for sure.
It's like he's very well known. It's just like one of those, like, he's a gross person, and that, like, you know, like that was Sonichu Tony Soprano meme. I figured it was like 50-50. He knew what I was talking about. Anyway,
I
Aliens.
appreciated the Sopranos reference, but
Yeah.
I was just breaking your balls. I thought you were going to go into Japanese shit.
No.
I forgot you said aliens versus automobiles.
Yeah, Aliens. So I watched 2 movies this week. One of which is well known, the other one's kind of known. But I first want to ask you, speaking of YouTube celebrities, do you know who Wendigoon is?
I've heard of this. Is it like a horror character or something like that? Wendigo?
Wendigo is like a Native American skinwalker kind of esque thing, but more Appalachia oriented. Wendigoon is a YouTuber, and he's I mean, like, if you look him up, he's on that the FPS Russia guy Kyle, that PKA podcast. He does podcasts with them a lot, but he's just like this dude.
I don't watch them very much.
I don't-
I
yeah.
see some clips from you sometimes. My bad. I'm just looking up a picture real quick, but I'm not trying to be a cocksucker.
So
That's what I was talking about earlier.
yeah, that's great with the fucking middle finger.
If you zoom, the caption was like, zoom in on Austin Hill's car, and it's just his chubby finger hanging out the fucking side.
Yeah, that's
But
perfect.
that was like that for like half the lap, where he was just burning it down right behind him,
And he's-
just taunting
Austin
the
Hill's-
fuck out of him.
Austin Hill's just flipping him off. And,
Yeah,
nice.
pretty awesome.
That's exactly how I want every race to end.
Yeah.
That should I televise that, Fox, you fucking dipshits. But yeah, Wendigoon is on PKA a lot, and I like PKA. I was like, I was really into when Kyle went to prison because his prison stories were funny. That's like mostly what I sent you, just because he has this like character named Snow that he was like taken care of by while he was in prison. Like, I don't know, he's an interesting cat, and like the whole saga, the guy getting shot in the back of the head at his gun store is fascinating too, and like how now one of the other dudes is doing time. Like, I don't remember his entire saga. That's another thing, much like Chris Chan. You can look it up on YouTube, but yeah, he's a gun store guy, and someone got murdered in the gun store he worked at, and there was like always like an air of suspicion it might have been Kyle.
Murder.
So yeah, but then he went to prison for something unrelated. He Cerakoted a pistol and got caught with an ounce of weed, and yeah, that you can't have that combination.
Good.
Yeah, you cannot have that combination. But anyway, they have this guy named Wendigoon on, and and like, I'm just gonna like say this up front so I don't lose you. He is like a Catholic guy, but that doesn't overshadow that he does a YouTube channel about like demonology and like mysticism and like stuff, and he's not doing it from like an overtly like you have to believe what I believe or else it's like I'm not going to take your argument seriously. He's like a very transparent person, and he doesn't mind like hearing people.
Kind of how Michael Francis is, the mob guy. He's like a big Christian proponent, but he doesn't like shove it down your throat.
Yeah.
He might throw in a prayer in or something, but it's not distasteful in any.
Exactly. It's done in a very like
Respectable way.
above the belt, I guess, like where you're not preachy, you're actually just like trying to be like, hey, this is my beliefs, and like the way that I stumbled upon this topic is kind of through that medium. So like Wendigoon was on PKA, and he was talking about demonology, and he was talking about this book that actually he's genuinely, as a Christian, too scared to read, and I got like looking into it a little bit because it's written by Aleister Crowley, but it's called The Lesser Keys of Solomon. And
why is he afraid to read it? Is
because
he gonna, open some portal, or is
so that's just it. The whole. Do you want me to like? I don't know how much you want me to go into on it, because it's not really like anything Christian, but it might get kind of boring because I don't know how much you're willing to like suspend disbelief from like a non-religious standpoint.
Go balls deep.
Okay, cool. All right, so Wendigoon is like, he's like, yeah, I teach Sunday school, like, and he's not like overt about that. He's just like, this is something I do. I think it's like what my way of being charitable to my community is, just like reading the Bible to the kids.
He likes kids.
He does like kids. No, he's from Appalachia. He's from like Kentucky or Tennessee, one of the two. And he was like, I have to do my homework to know what I'm going to be reading the kids. And like, I was looking up like demonology, and they asked him, is like there any demonology or like anything in your studies while like you've been, you know, researching this stuff that has genuinely scared you and you're too afraid to like look into? And he's like, most of the stuff is very it's done for effect, it's done for pattern. Like a lot of like the we talked about him on the last podcast, that Anton fucking LaVey, like that guy.
Satan.
Yeah, like there's people like that it's like they are more for like political and like social influence than they are for actually like practicing things that could have some kind of interplay in a dogmatic and like religious sense. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff where it's like if you really wanted to summon demons, you probably wouldn't be killing chickens and goats in the woods over like pentagrams with like candles and everything. Like that's not real Satanism. It's more like just like you're just being dramatic, and that's kind of what he approaches from. And I mean, like I said, there's also levels of it where you don't know, like much like Bohemian Grove, how much like, you know, the rich and elite actually buy into this shit, or it's just them kind of playing ball so they can like kind of participate in the rich boys club. You don't really have a full
a bit of both.
Yeah, so like he's like, that stuff I always kind of see as like, I don't know if it's genuine, I don't know if it's like for effect, but I kind of leave that as being more mysticism and like similar to astrology, where even if there is truth, it might be overshadowed so deeply overwhelmed by the bullshit in it that there's like not much that really can have effect on you. It's just like might be coincidences and like whatnot, but I don't know. Anyway, I'm getting kind of off on a tangent about that. He just is like, there's one book that I know is genuine because it's like it predates the Bible, it predates like Christianity, and it kind of like in many ways is like more of the origins of Judaism. So like he was like in the realm of like around 800 BC, like, you know, ancient kind of like before Greek times, almost like just roving, you know, tribes of people around like, you know, the Fertile Crescent and like North Africa and the Mediterranean and shit. There was these like oral traditions of how demons weren't like more, they weren't like fallen angels or they're angels that rejected God or like, you know, like it wasn't like that. These were just like demons, more like the way that you would describe having the demon of like, I drink too much, or I have the demon of smoking, or I have the demon of not being good with money or not being able to, or like spending.
In the cliche sense, like I'm battling my demons.
Yes, I'm fighting my demons. Like
Percocets and Reynolds Wrap.
Yeah, like more literal demons. Like, you know what I mean? So before there was this like vocabulary that correlated all the demons with like being like these religious entities, like there was these oral spoken traditions that the Lesser Keys of Solomon were consolidated and turned into that. This was like published in like the 1920s, 30s or something like that, but like it was a consolidation and like parts of the Bible that may have been omitted and only kept as oral tradition because they didn't think it would have any benefit to a book that was like for educational purposes. Like I know you disagree with that, you think it's like supposed to scare people, but it's like at the end of the day the Bible was like an educational tool for like a control tool. I don't know, like a way of like getting the masses.
Not necessarily. I might walk back my previous comments. I think religion as a whole is meant to scare people, but like you said, it's just a book of cool stories.
Yeah, like
thing. Like you can take valuable lessons from it or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just, I guess it's all up to interpretation and how much you base your entire life around it.
Yeah, exactly. So like it's so like without
more of like the person, not the gun type thing.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. Yeah. So like the Lesser Keys of Solomon was just like some of the stuff that was kept out of the Bible allegedly, and it was like more like they just didn't want it to be used for negative as opposed to like the positives that the book is supposed to teach. So Aleister Crowley and another author like consolidated this book, and they made this thing called the Lesser Keys of Solomon, and it's basically just how you summon demons, but there isn't any like no like Satanology, nothing satanic. There's nothing like that openly acknowledges that like, you know, Lucifer is a fallen angel, or that there's demons that like are, you know, like in the, I forget, they made some specific one where it was like in the Bible there's a story where this one like Moses, I think it was Moses, like someone, it might have been Solomon actually, I don't fucking remember. There was all these people that were possessed by demons, and he figured out that he if he took a vessel and got rid of like, so what he did was he found all these pigs and he performed a fucking exorcism on the people and turned the pigs into the vessels for the demons, and then ran the pigs off a cliff. And like I said, like it's a religious
science, dude.
Yeah, it's like a religious fucking allegory, but like people take
5,000 shekels.
Yeah, people take it literally. You know, it's like I said, it's stupid, but that concept is like, you know, more like that demons don't necessarily possess you, that they're more of just things that you do habitually. And the reason that the Wendigoon guy, as a Christian, is like afraid to read it. Is he's like, yeah, there could be stuff that's like as simple as like a demon in the 800 BC sense is when you don't spend your money, you take your money and you put it under your bed, which like that's
What the fuck's wrong with that?
well, hear me out on this. And then it's like another one is like forgetting to pray because you're too busy could be a demon. And like there's like little things like that culminate in like this ultimately being like a like a negative. But when I say negative, it's only a negative if you're like biblically speaking, because otherwise, from someone like your perspective, this just sounds like a guide to self-reliance, saving money, maybe making better use of your time, right? like so that's what I'm saying, where it's like actually this is just like a self-help book that somebody made for like a pragmatic person that didn't want to have a religious overtone for like
That's
self-reliance.
someone being Aleister Crowley, though.
That's just it. It's like Aleister Crowley has like a demonic overtone, so I don't know how much of that you can trust. And that's also like a thing of like he won't read it and really look into it because he doesn't want to like knowingly start practicing these things, but like it could be stuff that you're already doing that you didn't realize you were doing already, and it's like he doesn't feel comfortable with that.
I want to mock him, but like I kind of feel the same way about, like, I'm not afraid of Ouija boards, but I don't really go around fucking with them either. Like, you know what I mean? It's just probably doesn't want to like.
Or like superstition, like even like you can mock people for being superstitious, but like
I see a black cat, I'm like, ah, fuck. Or like I don't walk under ladders, or like I still chuck the salt over my left shoulder or whatever the fuck you're supposed to do. Like I know it's stupid, and I don't put shoes on tables. That's apparently a big one. My grandma
no hats on a bed.
I didn't know that one. But my grandma was into all that fucking superstition shit, and I used to just like, there was like, I wouldn't set them on like the dinner table, but we had this plastic folding table in the garage, and like I'd be getting ready for football and I'd set my cleats down on the table and she would like
flip out,
spaz, like, you know what I mean, no shoes on the table, it's bad luck. So I used to fucking mock her for it back then, and now like I'll take my son's shoes off like sitting at the table, and like I would go to set them on the table and I'm like, oh, it's bad luck, and I set them on the floor, and it's like, you still do these dumb, weird little things where it's like, I don't know.
The hat on the bed thing is from a really stupid movie that, well, people like it, but it's Matt Dillon. It's called Drugstore Cowboys, and there's this like chick that's like, it's bad luck to leave a hat on a bed, and then like she leaves her hat on a bed deliberately and then immediately overdoses in like the next scene, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not leaving a hat on a bed anymore. I know it's from a stupid
Anytime
movie.
I do fentanyl, my hat will be placed on the nightstand.
On my face. But yeah, so Wendigoon talking about demonology got them.
Can I ask a quick aside about Wendigoon himself?
Yes.
So he's like this very Christian, Catholic, whatever type dude, right? You said Catholic?
Yeah, like a Christian. Yeah.
Yeah. And Wendigo is a demon, right?
Well, it's like sort of. It's like a skinwalker.
Okay. That just sounds like that doesn't jive with Christianity. Like, why does he go by like a skinwalker demon? Like a play on that name.
Well, because he's from Appalachia, where the Wendigo lore is from, but it's not like outright like a demon. It's like Native American like demonology, like cryptology. It's not even that it doesn't jive.
Some Christians don't fuck with like, they won't let their kids read Harry Potter.
Yeah, they won't. This guy's very deeply sarcastic. Like he cusses. Like he's like very down to earth.
Gotcha.
Like he's an extremely.
He's one of the good ones.
There's a reason I fuck with him, and it's because his whole channel is just like 8 hours of like him telling fireside stories about Appalachian ghost lore and stuff. So
fuck you,
dude! Like fuck me.
I'm all into that.
Oh! I thought you said fuck you.
No, I said fuck yeah.
Oh, dude,
that sounds like something I would watch.
Yeah.
Like nightly. Like I love creepy.
Yeah, he's
the one I talk about before with the people from Jersey. It used to be called like, what the fuck was it called? Now it's 2 rabbits, 1 hole or something. But it used to be called the Wicked Garden Podcast. It's my favorite like independent podcast. Like, I love Rogan and all these like huge ones, but this is my favorite like grassroots podcast.
We got a little interaction out of those fucking Gen Xers or whatever, the Gen X Talks.
Did you comment on them?
I did. Yeah, I told them there was a joke the guy made about like these black dudes kidnapping them. Like it's nuanced.
I didn't see that one. I don't think.
Yeah, they were talking about how they were in a park on acid, and these black dudes were looking for a bicycle, and they were on acid, so they're like real like susceptible to like influence and whatnot. So like the guy was like, get in our car, so they just got in the guy's car and drove to like the hood in like Los Angeles somewhere, and they like walked up to a window with these like black dudes, and the lady was like, nah, that ain't them. So then like they but like one of the things is like when they first rolled up, the guy's on acid, so he's like thinking like, oh, like these gentlemen are just gonna like ask us a question, and the guy's like, where the fuck's my bike at? And he's like, oh, you must have had a bicycle in your pocket. I don't know why that got me. Like, I don't know why that made me laugh.
That is a real acid thought.
It's like an acid thought, but also like it's like a double entendre with the robbery thing too. Like, you know, they're getting mugged. Like I thought it was very like, I thought it was like, well, better than it was going to be. That was like a very like well
Their
thought out joke.
production is
Decent.
A1.
Yeah, it's
now
decent.
their green screen thing.
Yeah.
It looks like
Well, we could do that.
We could. I'm saying we just normally set up on one of our porches, or we do have a very nice studio that Joe put some time into. But it's been so nice out. We just find ourselves posting up outside lately. But
Hell yeah.
I think they only have 3 apps. I don't know if that's just on YouTube, if they've been around for a while. I don't know anything about them. It just came up in my recommended. Every now and then YouTube throws me like someone on our level.
Well, you got Echo Chamber, and I interact with them pretty frequently as Blacktooth. I think they're funny. They just had
Echo
a check.
Chamber.
They were the 2 political guys that they read the New York Times on. You sent it to me. They wear business suits and they just sit
I
in
like
front
vaguely remember that. That was a while ago.
Yeah, it was like about a year ago. They're good. They're funny, man. Like they're.
I like the smaller.
Yeah,
smaller.
They had an
ones.
Indian chick on there. The first joke she made was like giving like the one dude I guess also dated an Indian chick, and she's like, "Oh, is that why I'm here?" And I'm like, "Okay, that's funny." Like little self-deprecation's never not bad. Like I liked it. It was funny. Yeah, shout out Echo Chamber. Shout out the Gen Xers. Who the hell's?
It's like, are we adults yet, or something
Are we adults
like that?
yet? Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, they were pretty good. I listened to like a full episode. It wasn't.
Yeah.
I sent it to you to like. I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to like mock it with you, and then I listened to the whole ep, and I'm like, you know,
I was
nothing-
laughing about
nothing too shabby.
their antics like with buying a sheet of acid like from a fucking. I thought they were
I
gonna.
can't even remember the ep I listened to. I'm
Yeah.
trying to remember one of the funny stories.
They went to a Dead concert, but not to go to the concert. They just like fucking parked in a parking lot that they weren't supposed to park in, and then walked to the fucking
Yeah.
parking lot to buy acid, and then their car got towed. And I thought they were gonna give the tow truck driver acid, but no. Instead, they just gave him like
$40 or
40
something.
bucks. Yeah.
I listened to the whole thing. There were some good ones at the end,
Oh,
but I'm
wait,
drawing a blank on it.
And there was while I'm listening to this, I remember snapping you because I was like, I kind of want to like trash these guys, but I'm actually enjoying the banter. Like they're funny enough. And then while I'm listening, I'm driving home from the mall, and you know that left onto 50 from like the road where
By
it's
the
like
Luke Oil?
Yeah, so there was a 18-wheeler making a left, and this fucking black dude in a giant fucking Dodge Durango is just like arguing with the guy because he needs to back up, and he's not giving him enough room to make the big turn with the 18-wheeler. So him and the 18-wheeler dudes both have their windows down, fucking cussing and flipping. They're basically doing the burnout fucking sign
The
language.
SVG, Austin Hill of Maze Landing.
Yeah, they were doing that, and the black dude eventually caved because his fucking 18-wheeler was gonna run his fucking truck over.
Yeah.
So the dude backed
have
up.
to.
The dude backed up, and he kept backing up, and backed right into a Tasty Cake truck. And then I saw the whole thing go down.
See, that's why I want to do this, motherfucker.
And I saw the whole thing go down, and then I eventually made the left turn next because the light cycle changed to where we were now making left turns, and the guy's just sitting there like holding his fucking face like this motherfucker. Like they were
Did
clearly
the truck
gonna have
even
to-
stop?
No, absolutely
like, "See
not.
you later,
Not even,
dickhead."
it was so fucking funny.
Not
man.
my fault.
Yeah. So no, that was,
Now I wonder how that went down when the cops got there. Like, because he got hit in the ass. So could he be like, he rear-ended me?
yeah, I think a lot of people saw it. And also the Tasty Cake driver had his phone out. Like, yeah, it was like
Yeah.
done deal. Like,
See ya.
but yeah. Anyway,
Hopefully he didn't have any.
they didn't swap.
Any issues?
They didn't even swap paint. It was funny. The dude was just bummed. But yeah, Wendigoon talking to Kyle. They were talking about something very interesting, and it was like kind of an abstract thought that I've had for years. But like it was just like he made this comment about a movie that I've seen a couple of years ago, and it inspired me to watch 2 movies this week. But the he made this comment about this movie called Fire in the Sky, and I forget the guy's name. Is Travis Walton, I think. He was on Rogan, and he's the guy that was the logger in Arizona that got abducted by aliens, and then like they couldn't find him for 5 days. They were accusing his logging crew of murdering him, and then like he just turns up in the middle of nowhere at a phone booth at like a gas station.
Says he got abducted.
Yeah, and he was on Rogan. He tells the whole story. So they made a movie about it called Fire in the Sky that Kyle was mentioning, and it was just like his offhand comment to Wendigoon about he's like, yeah, there's this like scene where the guy like is having like hypnotic like they put him under hypnosis so he can recall what happens, and he's like in this like chamber that he like breaks out of, and then the aliens realize he's awake, so they like basically re-sedate him, and he's like Kyle commented, he's like, yeah, it's just this like cold cow. Like aliens normally are supposed to be a little scary or a little bit like they're supposed to put a little tingle in your spine, but these aliens aren't just like, they're not just aliens. They have like very humanoid faces, and they look very like disinterested in his like comfort or like, you know, even existence. And it just made some, he interprets that as like, these are like when you take your cat to the veterinarian where your cat's like freaking out because it's like, well, I'm getting poked and prodded and like they're taking organs out of me and shit. But like in reality, it's like the doctor's just like, this is just another fucking routine
It's just another
thing.
slab of meat that I have to fucking.
And like it's just very like routine to them, and like they're very calm and calculated. But it was like, I've never really thought about it like that, so it inspired me to rewatch the movie. And he's like absolutely right, it is like very surgical, like veterinarian. I've been under a lot of surgeries like in the last couple of years, and yeah, it does have this, they have this like almost like surgical, the aliens do have this like very sterile, but like it's like very chaotic, and like he's freaking out, but it's like they can't communicate to him like, you know, hey, we're just doing some shit to put you back to sleep and then send you on your way. It's weird. It's very fucking weird. But the movie itself is pretty fucking good. About like a 7 out of 10, I would say. And the fact that the guy tells his real story on Rogan too, it's like it amplifies it, because it is like, it's not that it's like a perfect representation of the dude's story, but they get a lot of the key parts like right, and it's a compelling movie. And
do you think he was really abducted, or
I do think that something happened to him, because there's a lot of things in the movie they couldn't really talk about because there was never really a formal investigation past like what the police did. But there was like all these like fucking fringe accounts that were like real fucking weird. Like other people saying they saw the same lights, and that there may have been people that witnessed the abduction happen that just didn't come forward or something, like, or maybe not like the abduction, but like lights before or after. Then someone else went out to the field, and they said that there was people in red like hazmat suits, like completely like, you know, gloved up and everything, like doing tests on the site where they think that Travis Wallen got abducted a couple of days while he was still missing, and a couple of days before the cops, like, I think they were like searching a different area or something like that. So like that wasn't mentioned. There was like there's just like other like strange little anecdotes that like are peppered in his authentic account of what happened, that I'm like, huh. And he's saying that like he thinks that they were just doing some experiment on him, and like they didn't mean him any really harm, but like they didn't want him to go back thinking like, oh, this is like peace and love, man. Like it's, so they were real dick aliens. And then yeah,
the tall grays or whatever, like the ones that have like the cliche like long head, or like the alien head with the big black eyes, whatever,
yeah,
they somehow creep me out less than like the Men in Black like humanoid aliens, the
Yeah.
ones that like can appear as humans but they're like a little off.
Yeah.
Like that shit,
yeah.
that's even more creepy, because like you just be right next to you in like an elevator, and
Well,
it's like you have no idea.
It's not like humanoid as much as it does like distinctly look like an alien, but it's just got a very like humanoid face. Like it looks
That's
like a
weird.
person, and that's what's really
Like Planet of
uncanny.
the
It's
Apes.
very uncanny about it. Yeah, exactly like Planet of the Apes, to be completely honest. It is very uncanny.
Or Avatar.
Nah, Avatar is like, I don't know. Avatar's its own thing. I like that. I listened to people telling like the Na'vi thing. Like the people were like bummed out that the fucking planet wasn't real. Did you ever hear that?
I have no idea.
There was like a small portion of people. Adam Friedland talked about it on Cumtown, that his dad was one of the people that was bummed out that there was no real planet, whatever, from Avatar. The planet wasn't real, and that like they got like a deep depression after seeing it. It's fucking retarded.
That's the dumbest thing I've
It's
ever
like
heard.
Wakanda, where people were like, there was like a sharp spike in Travelocity searches for Wakanda after Black Panther came out.
I want to go there.
Yeah, it was embarrassing. Oh, people.
That's so funny.
But yeah, so that was Dick Aliens, and then the other movie was Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which I haven't seen that movie since I was like 7 years old, and it's a Spielberg movie, and it's fun little aside. I had to do a little research on this movie because I was like, hey, that's Ralphie's mom from A Christmas Story. And yeah, she was in 2 movies in 1977, Close Encounters of the Third Kind and Slapshot, where she is topless in Slapshot.
Nice. That was one
Yeah.
of the first set of fucking
Yeah,
tits I ever
that's
saw.
Ralphie's mom from A Christmas Story.
I was in like 5th
Yeah.
grade and my head exploded.
Oh, same, brother.
Oh my god. I was
Such a-
watching it on like a portable DVD player or something too, like with headphones on.
Well, I'm watching the rest of this in the bathroom. Nobody disturb me
I gotta poop.
for 4 hours. The movie's you only got like 35 minutes left on that movie. No, I'm watching
I
it
definitely
again.
paused and fucking pulled the goalie a few times.
distributing literature.
Yeah, I was fucking feeding the geese, bud.
But yeah, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. It's got Roy Schrader. No, Richard Dreyfuss. Julia Louise Dreyfus. Lane from Seinfeld's dad, who's the guy from Jaws. He's Hooper in Jaws. And yeah, I watched this when I was 7. I thought it was really stupid, and then I rewatched it, and it's actually better. I would give it about a 7 as well as to Fire in the Sky. A lot less compelling, and it's fictional, but it's cool. Like, for 1977 special effects. Like, and I know that Spielberg worked in conjunction with George Lucas on Industrial Lights and Magic. Which is like the production company Lucas owned to make Star Wars, where like all the practical effects from episode 4 through 6 were done by Industrial Lights and Magic. So they made all these practical things and like invented a lot of the technology that was used for special effects today. So really cool on that aspect. But you said the thing about the tall grays. They're tall grays and they're friendly. These are not asshole aliens. These are like aliens that kidnap some people, but there was like a misunderstanding, and then I don't know if you want me to spoil
the different. I probably won't watch it, so you can in one sec. But the different alien people that have been on like Rogan or like that Canadian Air Force guy or whatever that like fucking blew the whistle 10 years ago or 8 years ago or however the fuck long ago. The consensus is that like there is good ones who are like looking after our best interests and trying to like have our backs, and then apparently there is like shithead ones who just want to like I don't know. I mean I guess that's a pretty even if they're just guessing and making shit up, like that's a pretty standard storyline. Like there's good and evil. Like, I don't know if I'm saying anything groundbreaking here, but
there's this. I was very upset.
Isn't there like legit like classified like several different races of them?
Yeah. Nuremberg Air Fight 1500s. I got to show you this because I was very upset that I didn't go back there. And I want to go back to Nuremberg and see this, but this was published in a newspaper in the I'll post this too. 1561. Apparently, it was something that happened. It was an anomaly. It was an anomaly over Nuremberg, Germany, where there was an air battle between a giant black unidentified craft and like these like smaller like star-shaped crafts, and one of them got shot down and crashed in the field. And there's not too much about it, but like if you look it up, you gotta like turn your Google Translate.
I wonder what the article says.
Yeah, I had someone who shall not whatever. I had Sonya try and read it for me. She's like, yeah, I get like half of this or something. I remember sending it to her, and she was like, I can read this, but it's kind of gibberish. Like, yeah, it's like there's some words in here that are like, it's like when you read old Shakespeare shit. Like, yeah. But it's like interesting to me because like that in itself illustrates that there are multiple races or at least like factions even of aliens, and it says documented. They're beefing over fucking over airspace.
That's wild. I like the picture of the sun too.
Yeah, the sun's pretty upset. He's like, I'm over this shit. Like
that's so wild that I don't know. I picture the 1500s. I don't picture anything.
It's like medieval times. Like
just the fact like they had like it's so weird to see like a newspaper clipping from the 1500s.
It's like not like a newspaper. It's like a thing that was like it's like a tapestry or something, but it was like something that was like reproduced like multiple times and distributed to people, or like you could fucking see it somewhere. I forget.
It's essentially you said it was published in a newspaper though. Like
they published it multiple times over. Like like it later like when the fucking you could distribute it. Like it was like it's one of the most cited incidents on Earth of like some kind of like UAE UFO UAP. I think that's what
United Arab Emirates.
Yeah, the United.
I used to bet soccer.
It's like UAP, UFO, whatever phenomenon. That's like a great example of it. But yeah, like there's like multiple documented kinds. There's the guy Kyle Odom. I've mentioned him on the podcast before, but he's got the one where it was like these. They kind of look like the Grinch. Have I ever showed you that one?
That's unsettling.
Don't
they look like the Whoville people or some shit?
There's like the tall grays are one.
I saw some like alien depiction recently where I'm like, that looks like the characters from Whoville. Like,
did I might have sent that to you? Yeah, this guy, the guy on the left, and then the thing on the right.
Well, that's fucking creepy.
So that guy on the left was an ex.
Kind of looks like Homer Simpson. Fuck the Grinch. Oh, I hate Christmas.
Marge, stop trying to steal all Lisa's presents.
Sound like Kermit the Frog.
I know, I can't do Homer real well.
That was a terrible Homer.
Homer,
Homie.
stop trying to fuck my hair.
Peter.
I don't know that I can do. Lois.
That's pretty good.
I
dude.
can do pretty good Peter Griffin.
I can't do Peter Griffin for shit.
Brian, get in here. I'm gonna lick this peanut butter off my cock. Peter, this is your neighbor Joe. I'm bound by a wheelchair and my penis doesn't work. Could you please help me go urinate?
Can you please suck my penis?
Please suck my penis. Yeah, but anyway, I don't know how we got onto alien cocks, but yeah, Kyle Odom was this guy. He's I think Canadian or no, Canadian I think. Or, no, Minnesota, somewhere in like the fucking remote areas of wherever. And he was an ex-military guy and has multiple certificates and shit for marksmanship, proving that he was like pretty proficient with firearms. And yeah, he, for no reason whatsoever, seemingly walked up to a priest like in a parking lot and shot him 9 times. And well, the priest lived. Kyle gets arrested.
Priest named 50 Cent.
Yeah, and now the priest is a senator in whatever state he's from.
What was the motive?
Kyle claims
was he possessed by alien Grinches?
Kyle claims that he was being gang stalked by that alien, and that they were some kind of like interdimensional demon that was taking human form, and it wouldn't really reveal itself until like you would
murdered this priest.
Like he would just like talk to like people about religion and whatnot, and it was like if they started saying certain things, he was like, okay, you're one of them. He's kind of got that like they live thing, except without the sunglasses. He's like praying certain ways or something. Like I forget what his exact like way of discerning how, but he figured out this one priest guy. He's like, no, that guy's definitely a fucking demon, and he shot him, and the guy lived. He took 2 fucking bullets to the dome and fucking lived, and is now a congressman or a senator or something.
Is he all Bidened out? Or
no,
he
he's fucking with it. It's like it's the strangest fucking case ever. Because
did he shoot him with a fucking BB gun?
No, he shot him with a 45.
Holy shit.
Yeah, like he fucking took chunks out of that guy. Like it's bizarre, and like there's not really much more to it. He just says that he was being gang stalked by aliens, and he thought that they were like interdimensional demons pretending to be priests.
Did he get off?
No, he's in prison for life. Like he's not going anywhere.
Good. To say, it sounds like a case of extreme mental illness.
Bro, I don't know, man. Speaking of Alistair,
your team alien, you really, I don't know.
I had, dude, like there was this thing.
I think in that case, my opinion, it just sounds like a severely like schizophrenic man or something.
Absolutely.
He should have went insanity plea.
Yeah,
and, like,
I think he did,
nice
which is why
chunk
he's not
in the rubber room.
Yeah, I think that's what he's doing. Like,
word.
Under a lot of like lithium and other antipsychotics, but yeah, we
officer, it's cool. I was being gang stalked by demon aliens.
This alien was bothering me.
You need to help me.
Sir,
I'm the victim here.
Could you please whip your penis out to prove you're not an alien?
You're one of them.
You're probably one of them.
I need to suck your penis to determine.
The aliens only come in the form of
chocolate
syrup, maple syrup. And that actually is the trigger part too, which is really fucking weird that you just said chocolate and then I said maple syrup. That was the thing in Fire in the Sky. The guy has like triggers like a memory because he's under the table having like a PTSD episode, and he knocks over the syrup on the table and it falls into his mouth and it like triggers his flat. It's weird, but yeah.
There was one on that Wicked Garden podcast I mentioned before, and a really old episode where some guy came on claiming to have had 3 or 4 encounters, and like one was like this super hot chick and some weird story. He didn't bang her or anything,
is
but
this
like she needed
Sweden as like a guy from Sweden.
No,
he
was an American.
Oh, okay, never mind.
He sounded American anyway. It wasn't even like a good story. Like she needed help. Like they're really like they don't have like the social cues that humans do apparently. Like they're really just fucking awkward or something. And she had like 2 agents with her or some weird like he just seemed fucking crazy to me. Like I don't particularly believe most of these people's stories. Like, and like he saw them one more time and like something like he he saw the coat he gave her and something in like Africa, so she went to Africa and completed her mission. Like it sounded like a fucking movie, like some dumb shit like that. Like he's like, oh, I saw the news story and an African child was wearing the coat.
That's really fucking.
Just like
that's very like stretchy.
Yeah, and he's like, I saw them one more time after that, and then I've never made contact since. And like, this was in 1992. Like, I don't know. You just sound like a fucking, maybe not even crazy person, maybe person just trying to generate clicks. Like, I feel like that's half of it. It's just, you know what I mean?
Oh no, I totally do. I'm trying to look it up
And I
because
feel like half of them are just legit fucking cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. You know what I'm saying?
there's a lot of it. I forget the fucking guy's name. I'm gonna like remember it like in 2 or 3 hours.
And
Richard Doty. There it is. Fucking Rick Doty. There's a guy who does that specific thing, and he came out on his deathbed and said that like a lot of his practice with
Sensationalized.
yeah, he would find military things that people were reporting as UFO activity and then be sent to UFO conventions to basically like gaslight people into believing that what they saw was actually paranormal activity.
Is he like a disinformation agent?
He was one of the Majestic or he was influenced by the Majestic 12 or whatever the
So you're
fucking
just trying to like take
Yeah.
crazy people and, like spin them further.
because it makes it makes them look crazier, and then it also makes the government look like less culpable when shit like
Sends
crashes.
them searching in the wrong direction.
Yes, because they're looking at government aircraft for the most part, or like some of them like wasn't. Some of it was like unexplained phenomenon. He admitted, but it's like it's not that it was unexplained. Like it might not have been aliens. It might have just been like the Chinese or Russia or something like that. You never really fucking know. But he was like, yeah, sometimes they'd be onto something that even I didn't have like, you know, info on, but I'd have to go like tell them like, no, you're right. You know, that probably is the Marfa lights. You should go stay out in Marfa in an RV for like, you know, a couple of years. Like that's like some phenomenon that he was apparently like gaslighting people on.
Just like 50 people go out there and fucking.
Have you ever seen them? They're like, it's just some like weird. They say it's like a optical illusion at a certain time of day from a highway nearby that you could see headlights like coming over a mountain because of like the mixture of the curvature of the earth and the atmosphere. Like
Earth's flat, dude.
no, it's not.
No curvature, bro.
Shut up. Actually, that is funny. I got another little aside about that too. But there's like. This fucking Richard Doty guy might have gotten in that guy's ear, and that guy might just be like completely spewing nonsense. I thought you were talking about the Sweden one though for a second, because there's like this like real famous one from like somewhere like Sweden,
The
Norway.
guy on this podcast was not famous. He was like,
No, like not the person. I'm talking like the case though that I thought you were referring to was in Sweden. There was these blonde-haired, like these Aryan people that were like kind of like you said, socially awkward, but like they were very facially similar to each other, but distinct from like a lot of the people in the villages they were spotted in. I've been like all in on the fucking Norway, like their paranormal activity lately. That shit's been fucking good. I just got into this one. There was like a bunch but anyway
that area of the world gets a little spooky, dude.
Very spooky. Dude, yeah, so like the one I was talking about there was like just these tall whites, I think was what they were referred to, but like yeah, they were like just these like very like distinct Norwegian looking people that were socially awkward and didn't really like interact with people, and nobody really knew where they lived, but they would just be like occasionally spotted in town like doing things that were like they were trying to blend in, like not like working or like doing it, but they would try to go grocery shopping. Very Third Rock from the Sun kind of feel to it, but yeah, like something like that. And it's like a real famous case. Like I forget, like I think it's like the Norwegian whites or something, or the tall whites or something like that. But that's another species where they pretend to be humanoid, or like they're passable as humanoid, and that's
I wonder why they do that.
probably just like gather information or fuck with us. Like you don't know, maybe it's like Predator where it's like we're a sport to them, or like we're an ant farm of sorts.
Probably.
Yeah. The other one, there was this like cool little one that called the Little Man of Norway. Is this in the 70s? There was all these people that said that they would see a little person, like a little 4 foot tall, like someone not taller than 3 meters, as they would say. So it looked like a small child, with a very weird hat and kind of like sometimes no face, but like a respirator or something on, walking around with some kind of like light box on their stomach. So they would see this person and then be like, oh great, here comes the flash, bam, and it's like they would just get this like blinding flash and the guy would disappear. And it was like This was reported all over the fucking place for like a year straight.
Eccentric midget.
Yeah,
It's a fucking-
it's like I don't know what to make of that, but it is very funny. And the fucking sketches, like, because a couple people like wrote sketches into like the ufology.
So he had no face, or like,
yeah, like no
he
face,
just
but
covered his
no,
face?
like it was like a short person, but like it was like their stature wasn't human. Like so they were like saying like, oh, they stuck out. Like so one was like this guy standing at a bus stop and he was like a couple encounters in to seeing this guy. So he like read about it in like the newspapers and like all the tabloids and shit. And he's like standing at this bus stop by himself waiting for the bus. And all of a sudden he sees this fucking guy, this little 3 fucking meter tall midget guy with a
orc.
little light box on his stomach comes strolling out of the snowbank. And he's like, fuck, like this guy's gonna blast me
Gonna
with the light.
flashbang
So
me.
he runs the opposite direction and still gets hit by the flashbang, wakes up 5 minutes later. The guy's nowhere to be found, no footprints,
What's the
no
guy
anything.
do to him?
I
Fuck
don't-
these people.
I
Like,
don't know. It's like it's just this weird phenomenon that there was a bunch of these little reports and anecdotes in newspapers all over the fucking country. Like it was funny. Look it up. The little man of Sweden, I think. Yeah.
But if you run and turn, and how do you still get flashed? Like,
That's just it. It was phenomenon. Like I can't. The guy might have been lying. It might have been just like someone trolling people. Like it may have been like that was the distraction. While like some fucking guy comes and caves your head in with a tire iron, and you just don't remember it. Like you're just severely concussed for the rest of your life. But yeah, like it was fun. It was like it was a fun one. I was enjoying that little because nobody got harmed. Nothing was fucked with. It was just like this little guy just going around Men in Black and people like fucking flashbanging.
a little similar to that. Remember a few years ago there was just people dressing up as clowns and like
Yeah, for the
standing
thing.
it was around that.
Yeah.
That would fucking.
Oh, dude, someone would get hit by a car. Like
That would-
that's someone's getting run over by the old tacos.
Oh, dude, that's creepy.
No, you're getting
Imagine
shot.
pulling through the game preserve and like
Someone just dressed like a clown with
just
balloons.
standing in the
just
middle of the
standing there.
road and it starts like running at your car.
I know.
Like,
I would run them over.
I think I would just throw it in reverse.
No, I'd run them over. I would make sure, and then I would do the thing from like fucking Toxic
What the
Avenger.
fuck, dude? It's a
and
prank. It's a prank.
Back over their skull multiple times so that it pops like a fucking balloon. Like that's what you get.
You
for
would get off.
no, but it'd be worth it. I mean, I'd get off like
Yes.
sexually.
Masturbate over their corpse.
Yes. I've always wanted to kill a clown.
It's fresh in my mind because I watched this week. We're finishing, I think, season 1. There's 2 seasons called Your Honor. It's a Showtime show, but just came to Netflix. The lead is Bryan Cranston. I like everything he's in. I love Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad stinks.
I know, it's probably- I do like Breaking Bad. I did rewatch a lot of it with Tina. And I was like, this is good. Fuck Joe. Like, I think I out loud said that. I'm like, he ruined everything for me.
Good. That's what I'm here for.
Breaking Bad specifically, Joe ruined for me for like a decade. And I rewatched it and I was like, this is fun. Who gives a shit? Fuck the flaws. I like Cranston. I think he's good. And,
Yeah, you're allowed to like things.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to not like things, just like everybody.
but is your issue mainly with Cranston's acting?
No, it wasn't.
Yeah,
with,
I
no,
think
it wasn't
he's a
with
good
Cran-
actor.
No, yeah, I like Cranston in general. I thought he was great as the anti-dentite on Seinfeld. Like he's yeah.
I forgot he was in that.
Yeah, he's good. He's great as Malcolm's dad, like Hal. He's naked.
He was in
retard.
something else.
Well, he was in Drive. He's the if you've never seen Drive, I don't think that
I
would be
don't
one
think so.
for you. Yeah, he's like there's Ryan Gosling is a stunt driver that also is like a getaway wheelman for hire, and him and Cranston have like a company that is like the facade is like a automotive company, and then kind of like the under the table thing is they do stunts for movies, but then the under that is like they do the wheelman shit, but they're like partners, and Bryan Cranston's like got like a limp and everything, and I forget the guy. He's the guy from Gangs of New York that's like the one mob leader that with like the curly hair. He's like a fat Irish guy that's not John C. Reilly. He's like the other guy. He is just the head mafia honcho in the thing. I'm not gonna spoil it for you because I think you'd
don't.
like it. It's kind of a dumb movie.
I think
though.
I like pretty much everything he's in. So, big Bryan Cranston fan over here, but he's the lead in Your Honor.
I'm a Cranatic.
It's in New Orleans, and I'm not spoiling anything. His son hit and runs some dude on a motorcycle, leaves the scene. The son's having like a bad asthma attack, anxiety attack, some shit like that. Can't breathe. Calls for 911, but he can't even get the words out 'cause he can't find his inhaler. The guy he hits ends up being the son of like the biggest mob boss in town.
Shenanigans and
His dad, his dad's a judge. His dad's like, we have to go turn yourself in, blah blah blah. His dad sees the mob boss at the police station getting the news and turns around and like sprints out of the police station, and then it's endless follies of trying to cover up their tracks and all of the the twists and turns and the shenanigans that ensue.
Is it fun?
It's good, but me and Tina are both. There's like no levity. Like it's just all
Relentless seriousness.
relentless downward spiral of just nonstop tragedies, and it's just like we both are like, this show gives me anxiety. Like it's just like I'll smoke half a baseball bat and come in, and I'm just like trying to catch my breath the whole time, and like it's just nonstop. And like there's finally, I guess because it's the end of the season, they throw you like a couple fleeting bones of like happy moments, but there's no good that can happen.
One.
It's just like only bad basically, and it's all coming to a head. There is a second season, and it's like I don't know how they keep this going because it's all coming to a head now. I don't know what the second season would be. I mean, I guess I have to stay tuned and finish season 1.
Stay tuned for the triumphant
it,
return.
It just dropped on Netflix, and then I was listening to Door Bumper Clear. It's one of the NASCAR podcasts on Dale Jr.'s network, and they were talking about it. So it's like in the
it's like in the zeitgeist.
Yeah, it's on the top 10 on Netflix. I'm sure it's people out there watching. It's really good, but it is like
hard.
I'm like burned out. Like I'm like I want to keep watching it, but it's like it gives you the scaries at some points. Like
you know what show really did that to me, and everybody I told this to was like, "No, really?" I'm like, BoJack Horseman.
Never. That's one of those ones like Wilford,
Yeah.
Wilbur.
Yeah, Wilfred.
Yeah, him. I just watched like a couple, and I was like, this isn't for me.
Yeah, it was. I watched, I think, like 2 whole seasons of that show before I was like, I haven't laughed in like 4 episodes of this. This is just sad. It's like, and it's like
I got that vibe like off the rip.
Yeah, it's like it's very melancholy, but it's like I feel like a show that's designed for you to kind of like scoff at because it's like, this is a reflection of like what I like and like why the things I like kind of suck, and it's like because people age and they're expected to be like timeless, but it's like this is just like very. Yeah, like it's a literal cartoon, but it's like a cartoonish thing of like very visceral problems that you see in like Los Angeles and shit. And I'm like, this is kind of like not for me. Like this is just depressing. Like I don't know why people like this as much as they do. And they're like, it's so like somber. It's like, nah.
I saw like a funny clip from it on Twitter or something, and I was like, I'll give it a shot. That was funny. And then like I watched it, I didn't like laugh at all, and it just like made me sad. And I was like, I tuned out after like 4 episodes or something. And I was like, this is just giving me anxiety. Like, it's
same.
Just giving me an existential crisis.
Yeah, like, it's like because it's not like something that you can really relate to, but you can relate to like the emotion of it, and you're like, well, now I just feel bad because like I can't even fix my own shit like this. Like if you think of it like further, it's like, well, what is celebrity supposed to do if I can't even get my shit together? They have all that money and prestige and shit, and like I don't know. It just like because it's like snowball effect of it, like not having fun. Like you're not enjoying yourself. But yeah, I got
Your Honor's not so much like that. It's just more of the anxiety is like, I don't know if you put yourself in their shoes or something. Like, what if I accidentally hit someone? And like, I don't know. Like,
yeah,
it's more so
I
like
guess that
dealing
does
with the
kinda
consequences. Like, what if I was like trying to hide a fucking murder that I committed? Essentially, like it wasn't, I guess, murder, more like a manslaughter
It's
or whatever.
murder.
But it's a body. Like,
yeah, man.
yeah, I don't know. Like, and then it's all coming apart at the seams, and it's just Cranston's like badly lying, trying to keep the fucking pieces together, and he's just, I don't know.
It's kind of like
He's has to like rig a trial for the mob dude, but he's like an honorable judge. He's a judge too. I don't know if I said that.
No.
And it's just like, yeah, the kid's dad, Cranston, plays a judge.
And it's Hal from Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah.
Hunter Peterson.
But it's just like now he's having to like rig a trial in favor of the mobsters, and it's just like he's not. I don't know. The cops and everyone are like seeing right through it, and he's just fucking coming apart at the seams. I don't know how it's gonna be a season 2 after this. Like I'm interested to see the twist it takes.
I kind of felt that way about Ozark, where it's like I know there is a season 2. I'm not really sure how. It's like
season 3 hit that where it's like, what are we doing now? And they're like, you know,
we're coming back.
We talked about that on here. I mean, Ozark finished strong, but season 3 hit that lull where they're like, we're gonna rig slot machines or something. Remember we talked about that at length, and we're like, that was so
I think we're getting
stupid.
We're getting Netflix again. I think I'm gonna try and give that an old watch because I need something to watch.
Fuck Netflix, dude. That shit hit my credit card. I forgot to pay my credit card last month, so I'm like scrolling through. I'm like, how is it this much? And because I don't really spend money on it. And Netflix is fucking $25 a month now. It used to be like $8.
Yeah.
I mean, I got it I willingly bought it. It was like $23, but I think it went up again because it's like $24.95 or something.
I have Prime and
Prime I have because my
Fubo.
mom has Prime, but
Yeah.
Netflix, we used to have free Netflix, and now they cracked down on the
password share.
Yeah, so
It's rough.
I bit the bullet for the NASCAR docu, like 24/7 series or whatever. I forget what it was called, but I watched that in like 2 days. But now Tina watches Netflix like a lot, and then we are watching good shows on there. And I'm like, it's one of those things. It's like cable. It's stupid that I have it. I spend $200 a month, and it's like I pay for HBO, I pay for Showtime. I don't need HBO. I have a fucking Sopranos DVD set, but like
yeah.
I like HBO. They have other good stuff. I don't know.
It's like you're gambling on like the one occasion where you're like, there might be something I want to watch on this, and it's not.
When
on
it comes
any
to
other
movies, I end up going to like I like HBO more than Netflix. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
totally.
I feel like HBO has better like classics. Like you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
they have real movies that aren't like original content that they're trying to
Where
push.
Netflix just pushes you, and Amazon now too seems to push a lot of their own original content.
Amazon's kind of good. You got to kind of trick the algo though. You need to get your the things that they like. You need to go deep into the suggested.
Amazon's
for you.
like plan C for me, so it doesn't get as much use.
No, go deep into the recommended for you and like try and pick a few titles off that and put them on your watch list. It'll like greatly like change your.
They have a good
Amazon.
I'll
Variety.
give them credit. They do have more bigger name movies than Netflix.
Yeah.
Netflix has like a few like big name bangers. Like they had Goodfellas for a while and stuff like that. But like
And they make a big deal out of it, like you're gonna watch it every day or something
Yeah,
like that.
it's
It's
just
like
like-
watch it once. It's like get new
they have
movies
like
every week.
5 fucking big movies, and the rest are just like
Meh.
Euro, like fucking. You know they do like the Czech Republic movies or the Spanish movies, and they just dub them.
International.
Tina
movies,
loves
yeah.
the dub stuff.
Why?
I'll defend her. I did watch like a dub mob, like Czech Republic mob series that like me and my grandpa loved, and
What
like
was it?
I forget what it was called. It was some no name fucking.
I like Dark.
It was like 3 seasons. It's just I don't know why, if it's just a different style of how they do the shows and stuff or what. I don't even know if that's true, because aren't they essentially just mocking Western?
Yeah, pretty much.
Film,
well,
but-
did you see Dark?
I think it's just because it's completely different people. It's just different everything, and after a while, your brain just completely adapts to the dub. Like you don't even like notice it anymore. So like I don't know.
the one I'm trying to say is Dark. Have you ever seen Dark?
No.
Okay, it's on Netflix. It's worth checking out. It's I don't know, 3 seasons now, maybe 4, but it's about time vortex in Germany, and it's really good. And it's a German series, and it's very
I'll try and sell the misses on it when we finish Your Honor.
No, it's pretty fucking. It's like I think it's an easy sell, but it's same thing. It's dubbed, and like I didn't realize until like because they take their time with actually setting up. Like I don't know, they're big over there on Kino. Like their cinematography is like it's just as much a part of the story as like the script and like what's spoken and shit like that, like in the acting. It's like so they really take their time with like the first season and the second season too, and like remarkably, you know, making sure everything is shot a certain way. Like you said, you rewind. A lot of things to rewind visually for in this one. You'll actually spend quite a bit of time being like, wait, what was that? And like going back 5 seconds. Yeah, because it's
He's gonna hate me.
no, I mean it's worth it though, because there is a lot of stuff they cram into the frame. But that being said, I didn't realize till like the 3rd episode of the first season that they were speaking German and that it was dubbed over.
No shit.
Yeah, I was
They do
like-
a pretty good job
They
sometimes.
hide it really well sometimes, and Netflix is like the best at that. Hulu is clearly the worst at that. Their subtitles are busted when it's like an international film. And Prime is like hit or miss. Yeah, I don't know.
I hate when it's like completely off
Yeah.
to the dub. Like it's like what the fuck? Like
dude, like it's kind of miserable.
subtitles. I know they have their place. They don't drive me as nuts as they used to, but my biggest qualm with them, because Tina's a fellow subtitleite like you are.
Yes,
Um,
fellow deaf.
Yes, she's very deaf.
What?
Drives me fucking nuts.
What?
These people.
Yeah.
But it drives fucking zooted out of my mind over here. Battling demons over here, dude. See the devil. No, what drives me nuts about subtitles is they pop up before the dialogue is said. So I find myself like, it kind of ruins the moments in shows because you just like pre-read what's about to be said, even if it's only a second or two. Like I wish they would be more succinct with
The
popping
suspense.
up. Well, it just ruins like even jokes. Like
Yeah.
I'll read the joke before it's said, and it's like I'm not gonna like fall out of my chair laughing, but it's just I don't know. Like I don't know why they don't have it pop up as it's being said, or like even slightly after.
It's probably like
I don't like pre-reading the dialogue.
it's probably just like the
I want
way-
it as is, like as it's happening.
I think the way that they do it now is like it goes through a voice like we get transcripts of all the episodes on like you can go through.
Yeah,
find
same
where-
when you plug this into like TikTok, it has like an automatic caption
Yeah,
mode, and it
and,
gets them all
like
fucking
it's like
wonky.
it's like
I
kind
even
of
I think it's funny.
it's very hit or miss. It's not very good. But yeah, that I think it's like that, and then they just like go through like someone physically goes through and like cleans it up and like makes sure that like it's because there's like closed captioning where it's just outright what they're saying, and then there's like closed captioning for the hearing impaired where it's like they have to convey what like the actual like because like they don't hear sarcasm.
Glass clinks,
No, like it's
stuff like that too.
well, yeah, like there's stuff like that, but
Somber
it's like.
music playing in background.
But that's like the most like noticeably distinct.
Some of
where-
those are funny, like
Well, yeah, like-
the sound description ones or something. It's like-
Yeah. Jazz intensifies.
yeah, it's
That's
just like that.
fun-
dude.
fun shit.
So funny.
it is
dude.
pretty
I
good.
couldn't think of a specific one. So thanks.
Yeah. There's my favorite one of all time. It's from that show Freaks and Geeks. It's James Franco sitting on the floor like this with his headphones on, and it just says Black Flag plays, and it's like that's me. I'm that guy, and yeah.
Love that show.
Freaks and Geeks was all right.
Miss Forsman used to show it to us on like Fridays in 8th grade.
Hell yeah, dude.
It's like a core memory for me.
I remember the line from the first episode where they're talking about the main chick's dad, and Seth Rogen goes, "Who's your dad, Hitler?" Like, yes.
I forget what I did. She was like a good teacher. Like she actually cared. Like she
Yeah.
got emotional because I was being a fuckhead,
Yes.
and it was like at the end of the year or something, and she was like really upset with me, and like I was a little shit. I probably mocked her to my buddies or whatever. Like she like teared up and was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like she like brought me in the hallway and literally it was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" type thing. Like
Yeah.
I forget what I did. I don't know if I had like a pocket knife or cigarettes or something. I was doing something fucking retarded. Like
Smoking in class.
yeah, I don't know. Or no, I didn't. It was something we had to write.
Wait. I think our landscapers are here. Let's pause, pee for a sec. All right,
We're back.
this
Landscaping's done. Don't worry about
This
it.
podcast is brought to you by Mike's Landscaping.
Right. The thing I did that got Miss Forsman so upset was we were supposed to turn like these essays for like I don't know if it was college or like to place you in what classes in high school or something, and I just like didn't turn it in, or like I just circled A for like every answer or something. Like I did like some real shithead thing and like scored a 0 on it. And like I wasn't dumb. Like I wasn't gonna be like AP, but like I could have been like advanced or honors or whatever.
Yeah.
Which I wasn't advanced. I wasn't in honors, I don't think. But
Very baseline.
and I
Very
hated
college
that.
prep.
And I dropped the CP voluntarily, but that's a whole nother thing because I wanted it to be easy. And anyway, yeah, she got like she like teared up, like fucking was like, "What are you doing? Like you're throwing your future away." But like
Yes.
looking back on it now, like that's the kind of teacher like you want your kid to have. Like she
Yeah.
actually cared. Like she was a good teacher. I liked
Yeah.
her a lot. And then Miss Willscroft and Miss Valise, I had a pretty good rapport with English teachers because I don't know,
spoke the
English was
language.
easy to me. Like I could just like do an essay on the last day. It's so awesome. I could like really slack and then still get like a B. You know what I mean? Like it was just came easy to me.
Totally.
But I dropped sophomore year.
You're good. You're good. Yeah.
Sophomore year, me and Mike Snyder dropped from like honors or advanced to CP just because we wanted it to be a cakewalk.
Yeah.
And they both pulled us out of the class because we were in class with like the kids that eventually went to 2 to 6. Like we were with like the fucking
Knuckle
dumb,
draggers.
yeah, dude, like the dumb motherfuckers. And we're in there just like cruising through, like sleeping, getting A pluses, and they both pulled us out. He definitely thought that was a dildo.
No, it's not.
I know,
They
it's a
do
big
every
dog
week.
toy.
Goddamn dog toys. I should probably help him with those. There's like,
fuck
give me one second.
Yeah. So she pulls this out and she's like, I joke and hear this in post. His butt crack's hanging out. Butt crack intensifies. She pulls me and my buddy Mike Snyder out into the hallway and she's like, what are you guys doing? Like, you're clearly like could be in a higher level of class. Like you're not even trying and you're getting A's. And we're both like, yeah, but it's easy. Like we don't want to try. And she was like, they were both like, so they weren't even mad. They were like, we're just disappointed. Like you're better than this. You don't need to be here down here with these knuckle draggers. Like you should apply yourself. And we're like, we're going to community college. Like we don't need, like I'm just gonna do the bare minimum.
I'm going
and,
to
like,
12.
we were bluntly honest about it, and like to a point where like they had to respect. Like we called our shot, and they were like, they never gave us any guff about it ever again, because they knew like we were like, fuck this. Like
I'm going to 12th grade, and then I'm going right to the fraternity.
I'm going to fucking AC Cube, baby. Like
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
not. This doesn't matter. I said that to my guidance counselor. Like
We should talk really loud.
turn me up in the headphones. I forget who my guidance counselor was, but she was like appalled that I was like just fully. It was like freshman year, and like my sisters were at ACCC, and like I knew that's where I was going at least for the first 2 years. Like that was always like save money the first 2 and then transfer out. If that's like the route you want to take.
Yeah.
So I knew, like I was like, this doesn't matter. Like barring the entry exam to ACCC where it's like a pass-fail. Like I think I'll pass. I know where I'm going. Like this really doesn't matter. And like,
Yeah,
I don't know. She was like one of those ones who was like, I was like a B average or whatever. Like I wasn't a terrible student. I was just so lazy that like I should have been better, but I didn't apply myself. And she was just appalled at that notion that I was willing to like settle for community college at like the age of like 14 or 15 or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She was like blown away. She was just like,
Well-
are you sure? And I was like, yeah. She's like, you don't want to apply to any schools? I was like, no.
I had this similar argument with Mr. Wielden because Wielden was like, you need my class to get into the college you want to get into, and he kind of strong-armed me into
So
writing.
funny.
Yeah, I know, right?
Just turn the camera around.
No, they can see. I'll splice in the security camera.
This is our next viral TikTok.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, Wielden just like straight up told me, he's like, yeah, you're not gonna get into college without my assistance. Like, you're not gonna be able to even remotely come close to getting an education unless you like use my letter of recommendation. And I like felt so disenfranchised by that I just went and got my boss like at McGowan's to write me a letter of recommendation. And sure enough, I got into 4 of the 5 colleges I applied to.
No shit.
And then the day I made it to Hofstra, which was the one he told me like I absolutely would never get into without
Was
his
that
help.
your number one?
That was my number 1. He was in class and he was giving some fucking lecture, and Stu was in the class actually. Stu probably remembers this, but he was giving like some lecture about like, yeah, some people are cut out for this industry, and just some people think they know better than me, and they they think that they don't need to go get me to write. Like he said something that was like hinting at his letter.
Snarky.
Yeah, and I was like, don't worry, I got in Hofstra, early admission, and he was just like, oh, and like just had to
Damn.
continue. Like I totally
You called out his
totally
subtweet.
took the wind out of his sails. And then Mr.
He didn't even give you like a
no,
congratulations or
nothing. Not a congratulations, not anything. But yeah, I like
why'd you snub his letter of recommendation, and why was he so
because
frowning upon you not taking
because
his
like
letter?
teachers are narcissists like the umpteenth extent. It's not that they want you to do good. They want to feel like they've
their
changed a life.
teaching brought you to that
Yeah,
point?
they want to feel gratification, and like there's some like outliers, like my boss and like Sam and whatnot, where they're just kind of like, I'm just good at this. This is what I did like in school. Like she does a really good job changing people's like dispositions on like Catholic school because of like how down to earth Michelle is. Like I would, if I had kids, I would gladly send her to her private academy because like they learn there, and she
The
makes
public
that.
schools are fucked
Yeah.
right about now.
And it's kind of where it's at, but yeah, she's one of them. Sam just wants to like make sure that she gets kids in early development because she can handle them, and she knows. Horrible.
Big dog.
Big dog. There's
That
the
thing's cool.
genie. That's a good one.
Are they cut? You got like a fucking jungle growing in front of your garage.
I know. I gotta start burning all that fucking wood back over there, and then
I was gonna say they should at least cut you a damn walkway.
Yeah, you want to? Should offer him a blunt.
Sequendo. What do they call it?
Marouge.
Mota or something.
Mota?
Mota.
I
Yeah.
heard Maruja.
Really, I've never heard that.
Yeah.
Sensimilla.
Sensi.
Let's just fire one up right now.
Yeah, let's
Fire
give him
up a
one.
fucking bat. No, I'm not giving him one. I only have like 3. I don't feel like rolling more today.
That's like
I'll give
a
him
week's
nugs,
worth
but
of
I don't
blunts
have
for a
any on me.
normal human being.
I smoke 2
But-
to 3 a day.
But yeah, wait, I want to put a bow on the Wielden thing. Yeah, the reason that he was like, he wanted me to do something ridiculous. Like he would make me film things because I was a senior in his class. And I was like too old for the morning wave, so like I didn't have any reason to go in during the production days. I was just like super senioring it out. He like literally fucking yeah, he just was like, I need you to do a favor for me, and I was like, no. And he's like, well, I'm not gonna write you your letter of recommendation. And I was like,
What was
fine.
the favor?
So he would have me film shit, and it was like I took an entire Saturday one time and filmed one of the school plays. They did 2 plays on the same day. They did like an AM and a PM, so I had to get there at like
I feel like you wouldn't mind if you had you like going around taking B-roll or doing something fun, but like filming the
So,
school
like,
play probably fucking
it
was
blew.
not
It
fun at all.
fucking blew. And
Both productions of it?
Yeah, so it was like the 12 p.m. one. So like I had to get there at like 11:45 and set up, and then like I had to stay there. It was like a 2-hour play. Stay there for the hour in between, and then there was like the 5 p.m. one
Did
or
you
whatever.
watch, or were you just
I
like
had
playing fucking?
I had to stay there because they would give you DC tapes, like little, or excuse me, mini DV tapes, and it was like a fucking JVC DVX. Like, so it was like you had one tape that had an hour of recording, so I would have to be there and make sure that the new tape went in at the right time. Otherwise,
So when would you switch? Like when there wasn't dialogue or something?
usually there would be like an act break, and then like I would be getting down to about the moment. Like I knew how long the play was too. I knew what I was doing.
Dialed
that
in,
was,
baby.
Yeah, but that was why he was fucking. He would hire me, but it wasn't like I was getting paid for it. He was just literally leveraging my fucking letter of recommendation.
What the fucking tires on that thing, dude? That thing
Fucking
is diesel.
NASCAR,
It's got like
man.
car tires. That thing is
Yeah,
sick.
dude.
Hell yeah. He's stoked.
Yeah, dude, he's loving that
He
thing.
loves his position on the crew. He's
man.
like, all right, you take the push, you take the weed whacker.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
hopping on big fucking dog. Big
Dude,
fucking
fucking genie.
what's it? Big perro.
Pero me gusta the toro,
Dude.
grande toro,
Toro.
toro, moto
Diablo toro.
Diablo toro, mote toro, snapper toro, hamburguesa toro,
¿Dónde está la biblioteca?
fire burger.
Yo necesito usar el baño, por favor.
I made a mess in your baño.
Make a choro.
Yeah.
What the fuck were we just talking about?
Well, we were talking about Mr. Wielden.
He was trying to fucking
yeah, he's just,
blackmail
he
you.
wasn't even blackmailing me. He was just trying to
Wanted
fucking
a favor so he
yeah,
didn't have to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And I just said no, and I did it once.
Did
and
you have plans or something? Did you have a real reason, or you just wanted
No,
to
I
like,
just didn't want to do it. I just didn't. I felt like it was like, dude, I don't
ask
care.
another fucking student?
Yeah, I was like, I got something to do that day. And he's like, yeah, I'm not gonna write your letter of recommendation. And I'm like, whatever.
What a douche thing to fucking.
Well, he was. That's like I said. He doesn't care
is
about
that
kids
even
learning.
like is that like allowed?
He called
Is he
our.
tenure?
He's retired now, so probably. But yeah, he called my class retarded one time. He just like comes
Oh,
in and we
shit.
started laughing at something because like one of the teleprompters was fucked up. Everybody started laughing
Get
in
the
unison.
giggles, dude. Once the
Dude.
giggles start, they in the classroom, dude.
Dude, it's
especially
like,
in high school.
Yeah, 8 a.m. We're all fucking sleepyheads, like just in there, just fucking like, and the teleprompter says like fudge instead of like fucking first or something, and he can't fix it on the teleprompter because he doesn't know where exactly it is, so he has to like go into the computer and override. And we're like laughing because like fudge or fuck or whatever the fuck's still up there, and yeah, like he just is like, what, are we just gonna laugh like fucking retards all day? And like he had the headset on too, so like he's like he said that to everybody in the control room, and everybody, including the anchors, all heard it. Like.
Damn.
Yeah, dude, it was fucking gnarly.
You'll get canceled for that now.
Yeah,
he'd
I know.
be HIB'd out.
He would, man.
This guy's about to fucking run it, dude. This thing's gas powered. My fucking leaf blower plugs into a damn wall.
He's got it.
Come on, it's not your first fence, buddy.
Jesus, Jake.
I stumbled so hard getting that one out too.
Oof.
I panicked.
You're good.
What's going on, man?
Yeah, dude. Cheyenne.
Hola.
Yeah, but
Bien.
so I got to think about. I want to ask you. I brought this up last week, and we didn't really need to like get it too far into it, but maybe you saw it. I was talking about how like I think pop music has like a mild form of hypnosis in it because they've been making it like louder, and there's like waves and fucking stuff that are like on it. Like you can put stuff in between, like not hidden
Puts you in a
messages.
trance.
Yeah, I think like a lot of people that are like they have Spotify on like 24 hours a day, like even when they sleep, regardless of what they're listening to. There might
Me.
be some shit that's like wave frequencies or something like that that's in there. But the reason I
I have
bring
a
that,
weird aside about Spotify quickly. Apparently, a lion's share of the music is like made by one guy on there. Like he has like, and it's all like AI generated,
it's perfect.
and he has like hundreds of thousands of songs and like
Nice.
set like 2,000 different artists, and like they all have like pretty. They're not like mainstream radio hits, but they all have like he's making tons of money on Spotify.
Smart man.
Yeah, and it's just like, I don't know, is that some like deep level like programming style shit where it's like they're just straight out pumping up like
Yeah.
AI like there's not like some artist who's gonna be like, I don't want to do this, man.
there's-
Like they're
there's-
just doing like robot fucking
There actually
music now.
are the glued my balls to my butthole guy.
Yeah,
and,
that
like,
shit's
like,
fun.
Yeah, because like those are people that go out of their way to make those. Because like the one dude explained his process, which was I think it was the tugging my nips guy. Yeah, that guy.
How does he make those? Does
So
he-
what he does is he writes the lyrics, or he said that at the inception he was having the AI. He was just like, write a song in the esteem of like the Beach Boys, but it's about fudgesicles or something, or like shitting your pants at the movie theater. Like I don't know, whatever the fuck it is, and it would write him the fucking lyrics out, and then he would say, okay, now write a riff for like a Beach Boys sounding guitar riff with a hook, and then like it would do it, and he would like be like, okay, correct these notes and make the rhythm more, so, like you
and
just
you can
kind of.
say this out loud to an AI thing?
I think you
Voice
coach
to
it.
text, or
I
you
mean,
just-
you can if you voice to text it, but yeah, he was
so
like doing
creepy and futuristic that
yeah.
you're just like, hey AI, make a fucking Beach Boys sounding song, and just
and it's like
instantaneous. It's so fucking weird.
Yeah.
AI kind of freaks me the fuck out. Sorry.
I was listening to mariachi music actually from all mariachi music from every state in Mexico and the different styles of mariachi music, and then everything in the comments was like, yeah, like 15 of these are AI songs. Like,
So weird.
Yeah,
dude.
it's very weird. Like,
There's that guy pumping out hits via AI, and no one even knows.
But I got a question. Did you see the Travis Scott flashbang grenade?
Didn't he have an issue with his festival a few years ago where
Yeah,
a bunch
with
of people got stampeded to death?
Yeah, the
He
Astro
kept
World.
performing.
Yeah.
Astro World.
He's going, and like everybody's getting like fucking lifted up and carried out, like they're just dead
He was
people.
doing 342 hertz or whatever.
the fucking sacred. No, the sacred hurts.
My bad.
Those are Matt McCusker's hurts. You
I
can't-
saw
you
some
can't-
clip of them talking about that.
It's funny. They gave Shane Zinn and they gave Matt McCusker a big wooden flute
Really?
that he knew how to play. Yeah, it's fucking hilarious.
I only saw the Zen clip. It was
Yeah.
like a 10-second clip, and he was like, "I'm severely addicted to these. Thanks." And he
thank
just had
you.
like a blank stare because he was apparently been trying to quit them, and they
Yeah.
gave him like
A
fucking 80
case.
logs.
Yeah, like
Yeah, it was like exactly 342 cans of Zen or something.
yeah. That's hilarious.
That's 342.
That's the real 342. I liked but no, Travis Scott had a concert and he like just had like this like part where it was like real dark on stage.
He had the alien with the flash box.
Yeah, he
Attended the show.
That guy just hopped up on stage. Travis Scott brought a midget out, and boom, fucking crowd forgot everything. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure about that. Like, I think that there's like some deeper programming in music. Obviously, like there's always been. We could talk about the fucking Strange Times in Laurel Canyon. You know the.
Well, I'm always curious, like the direct motive though. Like, so before we talked about the conspiracy on the prison industrial complex, being like we're gonna do gangster rap or like murder rap or whatever, and like
right.
basically like influence these people to behave this way. But like what with pop? Is it to like use drugs, or is it to like behave to like be like
gotta-
over sexualized or
Gotta be
scandalous or
a
like
plethora of things because like there's like
what's
not
the
just
direct, like, you know what I mean?
well, like
cause?
I think there's like at the extremes there's like Manchurian candidates where you're like the people that are like programmed, they're like so deeply like brain sick by like whatever like the fucking frequency or whatever that they're taking in is, that it like hypnotizes them to the point where they'll like do like a Sirhan and just like shoot the president or something like something crazy, or like Hinckley or whatever. But
There's not like
but then
murder
like there's
president music though.
but
like,
no, but it's not like it could
mean, like,
be like
I'm-
no, but like what I'm saying though is that like I think that it's not something that's like this person sought out like music to kill a president to. What I'm saying is like this person was probably saying like I want to listen to deep house music, and then they get into some weird YouTube rabbit holes where it's like they're not really even sure what they're listening to anymore, but it is like a very like deep hypnotic kind of like
subgenre,
trances,
literally called trance.
yeah,
in that category.
and, you know, that combined with like SSRIs and fucking like brain drugs that you could like, because they've proven that those have a pretty high correlation with people that do mass shootings.
Yeah.
Like I think that they're
Something like 74% of mass shooters are on SSRIs.
Yeah, or hormone therapy. But like regardless, what it gets me is like I think that the extremes are like people doing like extreme acts of violence, but then I think like to a lesser extent is both consumerism, like it's trying to get people on board with being more consumeristic, because it's like what are these always intermittently broken up by ads, and it's like I think you're just like you're in this hypnotic relaxed state and you hear a Target ad or Whopper like,
Whopper.
I'm hungry.
Bag boys.
Yeah.
What you gonna do?
God damn. That's
Fucking
like
Wendy's
but,
commercial.
Yeah, like they just like that is probably more what it is just like getting you nice and calm and relaxed. Yeah, you need to watch They Live, dog. That movie is fucking brilliant. It's that exact.
They Live.
Yeah, They Live. It's like a John Carpenter movie where Roddy Piper he's like a construction worker living in like a squat in the middle of Los Angeles, and he finds this like box of glasses, and he puts the glasses on, and it like makes him see that like every other person is like aliens, and they're trying to get you to
I've seen like I think clips of that on the internet.
It's a great movie. You know the Obey campaign?
Yes.
That's from that movie.
Yes.
Yeah,
I've seen like little tidbits of that.
It's a great movie. You should watch it.
I want to see the Eyes Wide Shut one.
That's a
we're
good
in
one.
the conspiracy lane.
That's Kubrick, yeah. I think we've talked about both wanting to see that, and I haven't seen that.
I get real racist Twitter and real conspiracy Twitter, and
They're
like that
kind of
one
a
was
nice, like-
featured on a thread this week, and it was like they hide it in plain sight or whatever, like the stereotypical conspiracy
Wait,
saying is.
you want to hear one that's in fucking Close Encounters of the Third Kind? Remember when Bob Lazar was on Rogan? He was describing those things that you put your hand into, like that he was on like the Site 4 or whatever, and it's like it takes like a measurement of your hand, and that's your ID. You don't have like a swipe card or whatever. There's one of those in fucking Close Encounters, and it's like 1977. And now, is that predictive to what actually existed, or are they like demonstrating what they actually have? I don't know. It's
What
a
came
weird
first, the chicken or the egg?
one. It's fucking weird because it makes me wonder. It's like that thing from not Goldfinger, Moonraker, where there wasn't a detachable space shuttle yet. It was only like the space capsule. But like in Moonraker, which is like made in like the 60s, I think, there's like a space shuttle on like a rocket fuselage, and it's like they are like 20 something years ahead of their time with like just that set design, like let alone like the concept of like how that works practically and aeronautically, because it's supposed to be futuristic. And I guess like they might have had like, you know, privy to like some like, hey, what are you working on, like, but it's also the height of the Cold War, so like I highly doubt that. Like it is very weird. It's like
I'm always curious what they have now that we don't
dude
know about, because you know how they say like the stuff we get's 20 or 30 years outdated or whatever.
Yeah,
like they used to show cell phones and like smartwatches and shit like that, like Inspector Gadget or Kim Possible or whatever, like stupid way they showed different phone technology, and now we actually have it, you know what I mean? I wonder what, like, because what we have is ridiculously advanced, so like I wonder what type secrets, like what type of shit the government has now, and we won't know until we're 60. So
well, what I think it is I think that we are like limited, like physically. I think that's what it is. We don't have like we're not quite to the point where we have artificial intelligence, and we have Elon kind of like working on the neural link, but we haven't quite hit a point where we're even remotely close to a symbiosis, which is like where humans and computers meld, and the computers kind of win and wipe out, like kind of Terminator, but like also there's a great episode of South Park about this with the Dawson's Creek Trapper Keeper, and Cartman keeps buying them, and he keeps feeding them computers. It's like, it's hilarious. It's like a fucking retarded fucking episode of South Park from like the early episodes. But yeah, like there's like or not the singularity, I think
we're already so close,
but
just
like,
with smartphones.
I don't think we're even remotely close. Like I don't think we are. I think that the singularity is like a thing that's going to happen, but we need to evolve further. Like we're not like physically, like we're physically regressing and computers are getting smarter. Whereas I think that like actual aliens, I heard this fucking weird theory about jellyfish being aliens, and it's like it's got me all hung up because there was
Birds aren't real,
well,
man.
no,
They're
no, no.
spy drones.
Hear me out. They're a single cell organism. They don't really have any like
Aren't they just prehistoric?
yeah, but they're like one of those like things where like they shouldn't really exist like as much as they do as like a fucking invertebrate fucking single cell organism. Like they should just be like eaten into extinction. But like they're like almost like too good at being like, because when they cluster together, there's some species that like can kill a whale, you know, just by like stinging it to death, and there's some that like exist like
Do
in
they
deeper.
eat it? What are they?
Well, they like they have stingers, like you know, jellyfish have like
Yeah,
stingers.
I'm saying like, what do they eat? Like, how do they
I
survive?
think they
Are
survive on
just
like
light?
microbiome or something. Like
No
I think,
shit.
yeah, like it's like like the more you look into them, the more they're like like an anomaly. And someone pointed out that they're like if you have the closest thing to an alien on Earth, it's like probably jellyfish. And I've been real hung up on that. And then there was like some account from the 50s and where the Netherlands, Amsterdam, whatever, that there was like these like Spanish like planes that were flying over and they were like leaving these like weird chemtrails, but the chemtrails didn't look like the way like a fucking jet stream or whatever looks like. It wasn't like straight. They were like kind of like zigzaggy and like fatter and thinner, like the way that a car that's like backfiring in motion, it's like this, it's like sputtering almost, but like zigzagging and whatnot. And then like the more they like looked at it, there was like this like white kind of film coming off of it, and whenever this white film would be around, people would notice these like very large jellyfish kind of style clouds in the skies that looked like the way like a jellyfish would like, you know, swim. It's like I said, anecdotes you gotta take for what it is. It's with a huge grain of salt, but still, like I got no explanation on that. Like what this weird film that exists, they have in some fucking basement in London somewhere, and they refuse to do tests on it because too many people ask them, and they want it to be like one thing. Like the church wants it to be one thing, but then like, you know, the private sector wants it to be another thing, and the government wants it to be so like they won't test it. Like, and it's apparently missing, but it's there. But you know,
There used to be the jellyfish that can kill you, the man of war jellyfish.
yeah.
And they would wash up on the beach in Ocean City, and we had to be like, we were the guys who cleaned the beach. We had to be like super hush hush about it. Like they didn't want people to know that there was like
Portuguese man of wars. They're fucking gnarly, man.
and we weren't even allowed to like, I forget, I think we had to just pick them up, or we might have had to call, but we weren't allowed to call it in over the radio because they didn't want anyone in the city like hearing about it. So we had to like call on a cell phone, and I think like someone like the Marine whatever from the county had to like come get it or something. I don't think we were
Marine
allowed to pick it.
wildlife.
I don't think we were allowed to pick it up.
Yeah, probably. It's like a big like red jellyfish that like just like a
They
big
were creepy
circle.
looking, but
Yeah.
it's just like just out for a Memorial Day swim and get stung to death by this creepy fucking
Nice.
jellyfish. Like that's, I'm cool with the small nuisances of the ocean, like getting bit by a crab or fucking stung by a regular non-lethal jellyfish, but like just getting your leg hacked off by a shark or getting stung to death, that stinks. That's
I watched
not
a
fun.
guy. I watched a guy try and fucking rip a hook out of a bull shark's mouth in a river, and the thing fucking just
Ripped
bit
his hand off.
Did you see that? He gets pulled in the water.
I didn't see him get pulled in the water.
Oh yeah, there's this guy. He hooked up a bull shark, and he knows it's a bull shark. And the guy's like, "Don't even fuck with it." And he's like, "Nah, I'm gonna get that hook back." And the guy's like, "Don't."
What
And
a
the guy,
fucking retard.
Guy fucking grabs it by the tail, and they're like one big muscle spasm. So the tail yanks. He goes flying in, and the thing just grabs his hand. He doesn't get the hook back. The shark takes off. The fucking rod goes in the water, and then the guy gets back in. His hand's like hanging off, and like, you know, there's blood everywhere. It's like, dude, you're a fucking retard. Like, you deserve.
Was this kid on the boat?
No, this was
This
like
one, this kid was on the boat and it, like took his hand like or multiple fingers like clean off, and he was just
I've
like,
not seen
he
that
literally
one.
was like, "Ah, god damn it!" Like it's such like a weird nonchalant reaction about it.
The guy that
And they like put his fingers on ice or some shit. Like it was on the deck of the boat or something.
you see the guy get impaled by the fucking swordfish?
No,
Dude, clean through the fucking leg. There's like a video of it, and then someone posted the video of the guy going to the hospital and like them trying to figure out which direction to cut the fucking sword out so that it'll like because they don't really
give
want
me
to pull
all
it.
the morphine, fentanyl.
Yeah, like just like literally, I don't know what to
Fuck.
fucking do. That shit fucking sucks though. Fucking ocean's gnarly, man. There's like a lot of things in the ocean that we don't know about, and I think it's like I like space. I like the concept of us going and exploring space, but I think we really need to fucking figure out what
The
the
ocean
fuck's in there.
sucks too because you just like fall in and then you just drown. Like you
That too.
tread water for so long, but like I don't know. It's obviously not advantageous to us. Like, and it's such a shit way to go out. Just have your lungs filled with fluid and you can't breathe anymore. It sucks.
I heard it's actually a very peaceful way to go.
I'm sure your brain chemicals kick in at a certain point.
Yeah. Sounds like fun.
The wilderness is creepy too. I'm so glad because I ride. This is one of my main notes. Dirt bikes or dirt biking. I remember a few weeks ago. I was like,
dirt.
Yeah, dirt bike go vroom. But
fast.
I do spend a decent amount of time in the woods and the trails and stuff, and I'm glad that there's no maybe coyotes, but they're not really human predators. There's no real predators around here.
We do have a cryptid that you should read about. It's in Weird New
Jersey Devil.
No, Big Red Eye.
Okay.
It's
creepy. I get some creepy vibes out in the woods, but But I'm saying, I'm glad I don't have to worry about like a grizzly bear or something.
We have bears here.
The occasional one-off, black bear, but not grizzly bears.
No, not grizzly
and black
bears.
bears are pretty docile to begin with.
Scare
so
them away.
yeah, like the most I've seen is like deer jump out in front of me, or like I'll see like a beaver dam, and I hope I don't get fucking chomped to death by this beaver. But Tina swore she saw like a bobcat once in our old backyard, like a small one, something like that.
Bobcat Goldthwait.
Huh?
You saw Bobcat Goldthwait back there.
Well, how you doing? Well, hang on to this.
You Google it and like apparently there is some, but they're not native to New Jersey or something like that.
Over by your mom's house, there's a gigantic fucking coyote running around. He's been running across 50 and Old Tuckahoe Road like since like a month ago. And I saw him the other day.
I saw him in the neighborhood.
Some lady fucking tried to stop and coax him into her car because she thought it was a stray dog, and I had to honk and be like, "Yo, no."
That's a fucking yote, bud.
Yeah, she's fucking retarded. Like
they typically don't. I think there's only like one or two fatal coyote attacks like in recorded history.
They don't like people. They actually poop in a way where they tell you where they're at so that you know to avoid them. They'll poop on trails to let you know they're around, and if like they see you, they generally run the other way unless there's like a big pack of them and that you're sick or something.
I've seen I've only seen coyotes maybe 3 times. 2 from far away. I'm riding my dirt bike in like a pit and they're like way across. Spooked me. I leave immediately. But the only time I got up close and personal with one, I was sitting in my car like rolling a blunt in front of my old house. And this I thought it was someone's like pet husky.
Yeah,
or something.
they do look like dogs. Like
it literally looked like someone's house, and it was my same thought. I thought I was, for a split second, I was like, oh shit, someone's dog got loose. And I like went to open the door to get out. Me and this coyote are like 3 feet away from each other, make eye contact. He just keeps trotting along like I'm not even there. And like, I was like, this is a wolf. Like it was so fucking big.
Well,
it looked like
they're cool coy wolves.
Here we go.
No, that's what they are. They're just.
That's always a hot topic debate in the Pine Barrens Facebook group where people just troll the shit out of people who say coy wolf.
It's fucking retarded.
Yeah, I always get a ton of likes whenever it'll be something not related. I'm like, it's a coy wolf, and everyone
pork roll.
Everyone's just like, dude, goes
here we
fucking nuts,
go.
dude. I'm killing. Apparently, coy wolves are just a myth. They're just big coyotes, like the eastern coyotes.
They're a crossbreed between the two, but they're not distinct in either direction. You could call them a coyote or a wolf. With like either way, you're right.
They just called eastern coyotes or something like that. Technically,
technically, it's a subspecies of a wolf. Like it's like
if you say
whatever.
coy wolf, you get like mocked in the fucking group
just
because there'd been like sightings of bigger coyotes in the group recently, and like this certain few people would always be like, it's actually a coy wolf, and like I don't know. Now they
actually a coy wolf. Dexter.
They just get trolled. They're like the people, and then there's other people vehemently being like, coy wolves do not exist. Like that is just an eastern fucking coyote. Like I don't know nothing. But the one I saw was a cocksucking coy wolf. That thing was huge. I was shook.
Nothing coy about him.
He was brazen. He didn't give a fuck. Like I was scared to walk in my house. I sat in my car for like an hour. Like I was like, fuck that.
What do you think?
But he didn't like seem threatening. Like he was legit just passing through.
What do you think in reality? Like if like you were to encounter like what would your like biggest fear like of all cryptids or like anything unexplainable
Cryptids
to encounter?
Animals.
No, cryptids. Like I'm talking like something where it was like that would be it. Like I would
Any of them.
No, like I mean there's got to be like
Cryptids
one.
like paranormal, like
Well, yeah, like
Mystic.
like not like mystic, but like I mean, like unexplained creatures or like phenomena.
The
'Cause,
only
like, big-
cryptid I think I know is the Jersey Devil. I
Okay.
think that would be pretty
like
scary.
okay, so like
what
when
are some other examples?
Wendigos are one. So like I said, like that, what they are, they're like similar to skinwalkers, but they're like their own thing, and they mimic human voices. And
I feel like I've seen them. They're like
yeah,
those
they're like
long,
emaciated,
strangly.
yeah.
fucking-
They look like very like slender many, but like they're they mimic your voice, and apparently they're the ones in Appalachia is like where I guess it's like they're supposed to be from.
They have like deer heads though. Kind of
They-
look similar to the Jersey Devil in a way.
They talk like if I was out in the woods talking, like they
There's
will.
ones with deer depictions, and then there's ones that are like human depictions.
they're because they're like it's like a mythical creature. There's like fucking there's
So
like
which one are you talking about?
both of them. Like,
Okay.
they're both of the same mythos. There's just like distinct mythos of both. It's like how all of them technically are Pokemon, but Bulbasaur
I
is
think the
different. than-
human-looking one's more scary.
Yeah.
they're creepy as hell.
So like yeah, they mimic you though, and that's like what freaks me out because you'll just be out here chatting or whatever, and one of them will be around, and then like I'll stop talking, and they'll just be like, "I'm Joe,"
Yeah.
and it's like, "Ooh, what the fuck?"
and
And like
it sounds like your voice.
people catch it on like video and shit. It is really fucking creepy when you see that because it's like, what the fuck? Like even if that is.
Bigfoot, I think would be pretty creepy.
Yeah, well, there's one in Jersey. That's the big red eye guy. It's like a big fucking Sasquatch kind of like looking thing with red glowing eyes that people see in the woods up like more North Jersey. But like, yeah, we got
Hell
our own
no.
Sam Squanch.
I'm not gonna lie. I do ride out in the pines, on the Pine Barrens. I think it's
I
technically
am the Pine Baron.
this whole area is technically Pine Barrens, but I ride like Belle Plaine, Eldora, like real out in the boonies, and there's some big pits. And it's just like it makes you feel small. Like it just
Us.
makes you feel vulnerable.
It's
I just
very
get
nice.
like a creepy. It is, but I'm like alone out there, like miles into the woods on my dirt bike, and it's like equal parts nice, like getting away, but you also feel like vulnerable or something. Like you just feel like, what if I see a Wendigo? Like you get this like kind of creeped out, like I don't know.
Well, I think it comes from more.
Or even you just see one of these creepy Pine Barren like pirates that
you're-
just fucking shoot you and take your dirt bike or
Well,
something.
yeah,
like.
you're making a lot of noise too with the dirt bike because like I walk through the woods, but I notice it's like more serene, and I actually hear people more than I'm heard, which is kind of wild. Like I
I'm
sneak
the
up
opposite.
on.
I
sneak,
can't
that's
hear anything.
that's
I have
just it,
AirPods
yeah.
in playing loud music, and
well, there's
the
your
motor.
first. There's your first problem.
Well, you couldn't hear anything over the motor anyway. Yeah. So, yeah. And then when like I pause and get off and take my helmet off and like smoke and drink water and stuff, and it's just completely silent, and I'm like, I feel like so vulnerable or whatever. Like I'll have like thoughts of like something coming up on me, and I'm just hop on the bike, leave the book bag, leave the helmet, like just me having to like peel out, like because the key's in the ignition, and like I could just hop on and beat feet, but
Okay, I got one for you. This isn't a cryptid. This is actually just something I saw on YouTube. But there's this like one notorious Craigslist killer. The guy got like I think like 8 bodies or something like that. But the dude, some guy from like Michigan, and he was trying to get people to come and babysit some farm animals and like basically just be like a homesteader while the guy was off doing like on business or whatever. But it turned out like him and this like other kid who was like helping him make these Craigslist posts were just like hiring people and then like waiting till they were like out in like isolated areas of the farm doing chores and would just like shoot them. But like they would there was like a couple hundred acres of like wooded area, and they like lured one of the dudes out there, and the guy was like, yeah, I like didn't feel comfortable about it, and then like I realized that they were like they were up to no good. They were doing something like kind of sus. I thought they were gonna
bad
rob me.
vibes, man.
Yeah, and it turns out like he gets out of the car and he starts like walking, and he's about like thinking about like, yeah, like this is a good opportunity for me to be just like, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore, goodbye, and just like run. Like before, like as like the thought is crossing his mind, he says he felt something sting his elbow. And then he heard like this real loud bang, and he's like, "Oh, the guy just shot me. Oh, now I can run." And he just like ran away, and they didn't kill him. But it was very silly, but also like that would be like that the Dahmer story where Dahmer was like fucking he killed some guy in a park, and a couple accidentally tripped over the body he just killed, and he was like getting ready to fucking stick them too, and then they just turned and ran away, like shit like that. People are more like for me are way more than cryptids, but like I gotta say, I think the Jersey Devil, that one, or like
Because I've been so into the Jersey Devil lore, like. And apparently he frequents like water,
yeah,
like those weird little blue holes in the woods. There is a specific one in like Hamilton or some like out. It's like a 40-minute ride, like northwest of here. Like
Okay.
I forget what town specifically, not Hamilton, but out that way. There's one that's like the Jersey Devils Blue Hole, and like they've tried to see the depth of it, and like they can't hit the bottom. Like it just keeps going for like forever or something. That's the lore. But apparently that's like his watering hole. I don't know why, if he needs to drink water or just cool off
Thirsty
or what.
fella.
Yeah. But and then there's other sightings of the Jersey Devil near like quarries and different like, you know,
Did you know that
mining blue holes.
our our specific township and like pretty much like Corbin City and like everywhere up to Mays Landing, did you know that we're on like one of the biggest ley lines in the entire country? Like for
What's a ley line?
It's like a
earthquakes?
no, it's like a spot where there's like an abnormal amount of like underground water flow, and it creates like magnetic problems. Yeah, and like I don't know, like it's one of those ones where I didn't know until the earthquake a couple months ago happened, when there was like an earthquake in North Jersey or like in New
We
York
felt
or
it.
whatever. Yeah, like, and I felt it, and I was like, people were like, there's like no fault line, and there was like a fault map of the Northeast, and there is no fault line that goes through like Jersey outright. Like there's a little bit of one that like kind of creeps in that goes up towards, you know, the Adirondack Mountains, I think. But like, regardless of what it was like, I was like, huh. This makes me wonder, what are the ley lines like around here? And like, sure enough, like all the egg bays are basically like a big conjunction of ley lines where there's like all this like underground water flow.
It's weird.
And there's like also
Never knew there
been
was underground water flow. I thought it
So-
was just like the water table or whatever, like
Well-
how you dig a well,
well, so like it's not like flow, like it's not like there's a
flowing
river.
like a river.
Yeah, like it's like there's
connected.
there's movement of water enough to displace sediment where it gets like. I think the theory is that it like there's like heavy minerals and materials and shit that throw compasses off because it like interferes with the true north magnetic pole.
Oh shit.
And it's like when you have a lot of like flowing water where like all this like metal is moving around, like all this like metallic sediment that is like is moving around underground. It like interferes with like that, and like we get really bad cell phone reception out here. Like pretty much in the entire county, you get pretty bad cell phone reception.
If you go like, it's not terrible where we are here.
Like here presently, but yeah,
Your house sometimes hit or miss for me. But
very miss for me. Like,
Yeah.
it's very bad out here for me.
my house is fine, and I live half mile down the road. But Tucko's not too bad. But when you go any further into the boonies, like if I'm in Dennis, like I took my kid to the playground in Dennis the other day. It's like I guess technically Belle Plaine, but there's anywhere near like Belle Plaine, there's no, like even Steelmantown, there's no.
Yeah.
My messages won't send. Tina tries to call me, it goes right to voicemail. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'll be riding out that way in the boonies, and she's like, "You need to ride somewhere where there's fucking cell service, because I've been calling you for like an hour." And I'm like,
Why do you think I'm riding here?
not all the good riding spots are in the fucking boonies. Like, they're not going to be like a killer fucking pit in Marmora. Like, there is there's a little one, but it's like,
Be like Fonzie and just ride through the high school.
hey,
Hey, look at this blue hole.
that's what I was gonna say. When I get the most spooked in random. I know most of the trails. I guess they're technically Belle Plaine State Forest trails or whatever. Like they are marked out. It's like the Narrows Road Trail, the Duck Pond Trail. Like they have signage and stuff. So it's, but every now and then you'll just stumble upon like a random small, like I don't even know if it's like a pond or what, just a small body of water in the woods that like. I'm like, this is where the Jersey Devil's gonna fucking get me, dude. Walk up on him taking a bath and like.
I think the weirdest is when you find a small cemetery in the woods that's like clearly not on any like fucking road.
I don't think I ever have. The only
I found a couple of them. Like so
around here.
Yeah, so there's one in the Atlantic County Park that's like there's the Civil
Indian.
No, it's Civil War Cemetery. You know where that is in the park?
I don't. Not off the top of my head.
Okay, so you're heading that way. You go not to the main entrance. The second entrance into the Atlantic County Park takes you back to the furnace. It's between where you park and the furnace. It's like on the right.
There's a furnace at the Atlantic County Park.
Yeah, it's like the one that was. It's like out on the water. It's like this old like water wheel like furnace thing. That's like out on the water. And then like if you go between that and the parking lot, it's only like 15 like meters.
I'm like drawing a blank on the one there. I know there's the Weymouth furnace out way further, which is the same style thing.
Here, I'll just pull it up on maps because it's easier to explain. But like I'll show you where the Civil War Cemetery is, and it's like they've taken better care of it since. But there are graves that aren't in the cemetery that if you just wander around in the woods, you'll find. It's like really
That's wild.
It's really fucking bizarre. It like kind of
They have them like that. So there's like the Steelmantown Cemetery.
right.
and it's like gated off. So like I parked my bike there once and just walked around, and it's just like a normal.
So, okay, this is the Atlanta County Park right there. So like that's where you normally turn in. You're out there in Estelville.
And you normally make that right to go to the playgrounds. That's
right.
where
Yeah, so
where
that's
I
where you're
normally
going.
go.
So
with the kids.
that's the other entrance right there, and then that's all connected back here through a trail.
Wait, where's the other entrance?
Like it's just like about
Further down the
a
road?
quarter mile on the right, and it's like recessed. But yeah, all the way at the end right here, there's a furnace with a water wheel.
Isn't there like a weird house back there?
Yeah, well, there's a couple of things that are back there, but it's about like a mile's
So
walk.
I rode back there on the dirt bike once.
But you could see Smith Ireland Burying Ground. That's like the old Civil War cemetery, and there's like
I've seen the World War One stuff.
the
down
World
the
War
other
One
way.
and the World War Two cemetery all together. But that
Not
one's
cemetery. It was like a
memorial.
manufacturing thing where they made like shells.
Oh,
or
no,
something.
that's the
It's like by the road.
Yeah, that's the one, the big square one. That's the shell factory. Yeah,
By
there's
the
a
road.
munitions plant, and there was a glass factory out there too.
I've
Apparently
seen that one. The thing in like when you make that right, it's like I think it was an old glass factory or old something.
Well, if you take that second road on the left, it's further recessed into the woods, but that was another part of the munitions plant, and we like smoked a blunt in there the one time, and it's really cool because the ground is real deep in it, but
Is
it's
the one you're talking about? Is there like when you're going back? Is there like fields on the left side?
no.
There's another one down further.
Yeah, there's like a third one that's like about like a, and it's this one like it takes you right if you go straight. It just takes you right to this water wheel thing, and like
you can drive up to it.
not there's like a parking lot, but it's like only about like 15 meters. Like it's not very far, like about like 30 feet, 45 feet ish. It's like
I
like,
rode back there once, found this weird like plantation looking house, and there was like old people walking around like doing a tour, and like they have it like barricaded off or whatever with like those guardrail things, and like I could get around it on the dirt bike, and then I got back there and it was like all these appalled old people, so I just like turned around and bailed, but it wasn't far from the parking lot.
well, no, you're
So I
thinking
think I
of-
was close,
You're
but
you're in the main lot because that's where like
no, I was in a different like a side.
I think I know where you're talking. I know exactly where you're talking about. Is it like near like the conservation thing, like the room where they have like all like the bird
No.
stuff? No, it's not
This is
that
a
one.
completely different entrance. It was like I think I accidentally connected to it. There's a neighborhood street that goes back into like that trail system as well.
Okay,
Yeah, I don't know, but I don't know.
you're
if
just
that,
at somebody's house during a reenactment.
No,
You're about
no.
to start having an orgy. That's their eyes wide shut
no,
party.
it's
is
marked
just
out. It says like Atlanta County, whatever.
orgy festival.
Yes.
Butt sex society. ACBSS.
I also was back there and I was trying to take a cool picture on my phone, and I was walking in like the marsh muck because it was like this weird like clearing with like it was just real scenic. I'm like, I need to get like a little further out to take a picture, and it was like quicksand. Like I was like up to like my fucking halfway up my calves in this mud,
Yeah.
and then trying to get out, it pulled both my shoes off, and I was like, I'm gonna die back here. Like
Yep.
I had no cell service. Yeah, I was really freaked out. I obviously got out, but I almost left the shoes, but I had to ride home with like just my socks on.
Look, it's a proud look.
And
you
it's
know?
fucking
We had the one hike at that park where I found that I know like not that mud or whatever, but there was there's like these pilings that were going out into the water, and I'm lucky I was wearing boots because I missed one of the pilings, and just like my foot sank like literally up to my knee.
So scary.
And you're like, well, this is, and like my leg was like still out. So I'm like, I can do this. I know what to do. Just don't panic. Just like lean back.
I panicked.
Yeah, like I just kind of like got out of it, but it was like, yeah, my like fucking day was ruined. I'm like, my fucking leg
Yeah.
is just gross. I had to like wash
I was
my
like
fucking
30.
shit.
This was one of those like shortly after Vincent was born, or a while. It was like one of the first time I had been riding in a while, and it was like 30 minutes into my ride, and I did that. And I had to like go home and defeat, like
Yeah.
day ruined. Like I was so fucking
Not happy.
Yeah, it
Um,
went from fear to like once I got back on dry land, I was like, motherfucker. Like,
Well, when we were there too, the funniest thing that ever happened on a hike happened, and shout out Nick. I love you, buddy. This is I'm sorry that I'm saying this on there, and I'm sorry I'm saying your name, but this is so fucking funny. He there's like all those trails back there. You know, like how they have the horse stables too between
I've never like we went on one field trip there, and it was mainly like Native American based. Like we saw like some thing where they set up a camp, and like we
Yeah.
saw like teepees and arrowheads or some bullshit.
like
But I don't remember. and I've never delved much back there. Like me and my mom would take me there as a kid. We would go to like the playground and like I don't.
You should take Vincent like if like you guys are gonna go for a walk, like park there at like the main one, and then like walk all the way back to like the veteran cemetery and shit. And like it's like it's a very nice open like calm place. Yeah,
we
like,
walked with my sisters there last year, and like but we were just on like regular trails. There was no like historical.
Yeah, there was.
We went by like some workout equipment. I think that was it.
Yeah,
like, there was no cemetery, nothing.
I know
creepy.
exactly where you're talking about. So there's like, if you go, well, you're to the right of the veteran cemetery is to your right there. That's like the World War I, World War II cemetery. This is like a mile to your left. If you take those trails that like are past the workout equipment, that you have to like go over a little bridge, and then there's like a pretty well mapped out. Anyway, you go through there. There's like a horse stable and like a trail that takes you like to all these like horse trails that you can walk on. They're people
I
trails
don't want
too.
to walk it though, and I can't take my dirt bike there, so it's just like.
Well, it's nice. It's very pleasant. Like some people enjoy, you know, like a nice stroll. I
like to cruise through.
I understand.
Way easier on the knees.
Anyway,
I'm fat.
me and Nick and Ian and Yussel were all on a hike back there, and we hadn't seen a person in like easily like 2 hours. It's the middle of fucking winter. It's just us out there. Nick and I are talking at full volume about how we're gonna fuck Yussel or something like that. We're just like, we're gonna bend him over and like steal all his clothes and like leave him hanging from the top branch of a tree, and then just sit underneath him and watch him jump so that we could like something stupid like that. And then Nick just like really fucking loud for no like we walk by a sign that says caution horses, or like horse crossing or something like that. We haven't seen anybody in 2 hours. Nick just really fucking loud goes, I want to fuck a horse in the ass. And as he says that, two very old ladies on horseback come around like a corner, like a blind corner, mortified, just like, and we're like, oh.
They had to think that you saw their horses before making that comment.
And we laughed. Like, we had like another like half hour worth of hike, and we laughed the entire half hour. Then we had to we had to stop and smoke a blunt and like calm down from how hard we were laughing, because it was embarrassing, and then it was like funny, and then it was
they
like
just
even
trot off into the sunset.
They must have been so confused because they couldn't have seen any other people either. Like there was like nobody in the park that day, and it's like the first people you encounter are just, I want to fuck a horse in the ass. Like
these young hooligans.
the fuck are
They're
these people
probably
doing?
pot smokers.
Oh, we got busted by the park police smoking weed too. And the guy was like, "Well, now you don't be doing any smoking in this park." And we're like, "Oh, absolutely not." And then we literally turned his back, sparked another joint up.
Damn, he rolled up on you.
Yeah, the park police followed us. We went down this
Made you leave or?
No, absolutely not. We were on the riverside, and they have gazebos out there. And there's like a gazebo that has a dock, and then there's like a gazebo that's kind of like more hidden, and then there's like a little bridge thing that used to be a dock, that it was like a bridge and then like a dock, and then it was just like they kind of like let it fall into disrepair. So like all three of them are connected by the same trail, but it's like you kind of can like so we went to the abandoned one obviously and smoked a John. And then walked, and like I think Nick and I both like had a dart or something, and then like we ended up at the gazebo with the dock, so we're out on the dock like jumping on the dock, like making it splash and shit. And yeah, like this fucking park ranger like comes up to us and is like, "What are you guys doing?" We're like, "Oh, we're just like enjoying the day, like, you know, whatever." And he's like, "You guys wouldn't by any chance be smoking out here, would you?" And we're like, "No, absolutely not." He's like, "Yeah, it's a $250 fine for every time you get caught smoking out here," like making a big deal out of it. And like literally we're like, "Oh, I'm like."
You saw a guy smoking weed or smoking darts?
I have no idea, but either way, he like scolded us and was very like high school principal about it, like, "Don't let me catch you again." And then like as soon as he turned his back, he just sparked another joint. Like,
fuck him.
Yeah.
We had one. He ended up being cool, but he came on to us kind of.
He came on to you.
Nah, he came like his
sexy
attitude when he came up to it. Like he stopped us in the one I'm talking about. It's further down towards Mays Landing, but it's another Atlantic County park property.
Yeah,
and it's just like these to the left as you're driving back. It's just these weird fields, and then it just ends up at the water, and you can like there's trails to hike over there or something. I'm sure they interconnect with the other ones.
Yeah,
but we're literally Vincent wouldn't sleep when he was a baby, so we would just drive around, and I was just like I went through the game preserve, I went through the big game preserve, I went through Joe's butthole, I fucking. So I went through the Atlantic County Park, and now I'm at this offshoot of the Atlantic County Park. I'm just making my way down dirt roads because I can just go slow and zone out. Yeah. So I'm back there, and I guess they were trying to close up for the day or like shut the gates or whatever, and I didn't know. And he just like rolls up on us like all aggressively, and he's like, "What are you doing back here?" Because it was like getting dark. And I was like, I'm driving around so my newborn son will sleep, and he was just like, I remember those days. But like when he first came up, he was like super aggro, like thought we were like
doing something nefarious.
Yeah, because we were down like, I don't know, we had just pulled in or whatever, and he like whipped around. He was like, "What are you doing back here?" Blah blah blah. I'm like, "We're just gonna go down the end and turn around." Like I'm trying to get my son to stay asleep. He's like, I remember when I had my boys. So, like gave us like a fucking parental speech. And
Dad
like,
lecture.
And then he followed us like all the way out, I guess, to like make sure we were leaving. All right, man.
Fucking nerd.
He was nice, but like the initial, I was like, here we fucking go. Like I'm gonna fucking have to deal with Super Trooper over here. But
I don't like. We got like 10 more minutes. I gotta get out of here. But yeah, the fucking. The thing about park police that always makes me amused is like, why the hell do they think that they like I'm going to take them seriously? It's like your jurisdiction is the most limited. Like I understand, like if I was hunting, it'd be one thing, but like I'm just literally out here just being like I pay taxes that make this park like.
I could see them giving you a hard time for like drinking or smoking weed in public or smoking even cigarettes if it's not allowed.
Yeah.
But
well, like I still at the same time.
they can what can they at most do? Write you a fine?
Yeah,
like
that you don't. It's like there's no jurisdiction. I don't really have to pay it. Like you're not gonna boot my car over me not paying a park police.
Not gonna
fine.
get warrants.
Yeah, like it's
not gonna be allowed to attend the park.
It's like a federal offense technically, but it's like a federal it's something that I don't have to I can just avoid that federal thing. Like it's. Not,
I smoked weed at that. What's the one out in Galloway? It's like this big offshoot.
Forsyth?
Yeah,
I love
that
Forsyth.
one's so cool, man.
Yeah,
there's
really,
got to be some cool trails out there. I rode the dirt bike through there.
Through the all the way out onto the marsh.
All the way out.
It's fucking nice, ain't
it?
You don't realize how close you actually get to Atlantic City until you like go all the way to
I didn't even know.
Like, yeah.
I had heard of it. We tried to drive through it at night. It was closed. And then I was just cruising on the dirt bike a while ago. It was like, I think I had to go on a long ride to clear my head after we gave Rocky up.
Yeah.
And I ended up out. I was on the Parkway doing like 85 on a dirt bike. I was like, I want to see this. Never been back here. I heard about it. I was like blown away so much that like they have a donation box when you're leaving and entering, and like I threw a 20 in there and I wrote like, this place is amazing. Like,
yeah,
it was really clean. It was like immaculate. Like I don't know. That place is awesome. Go check out Forsyth if you've never been.
Yeah, Edward J. Forsyth, I think is what it's called, National Park. I
was on a dirt bike and like I didn't get rowdy at all. Like I putted around at 10 miles an hour. I didn't want to, because people are bird watching and shit like that all the way throughout that expanse. Yeah. It's like I already felt like I stuck out, so I like really kept it cool. And then I found like an abandoned. It wasn't a dock. It was like a platform similar to you.
Yeah.
I went out there and smoked the blunt. No one fucking bothered me.
There's like the one side you can, if it's the right time of year, you can see all the clam boats come in. Like it's like when you get out and like you're about to make the loop back around, like all the clam boats are like out over that side. It's really neat, like because there's like all these birds that like show up because they want to eat like after they're shucking them and whatnot. Like they want to eat the leftovers. But like yeah, we were out there like in the middle of like March, I think. Ian took me. The one time we did a hike, saw like a shitload of deer, like literally like 10 deer. It was great, and they were like not like friendly, but they were like close enough where it was like me to that AC unit, and like every time they would just like G check you, and it's like sup, and then you just run away, and it's like all right, that's pretty cool. Yeah, like it was neat. I like that place. I also like if you ever go up to, well, you know what? I'm not even gonna say that one. I'm going to send you on an adventure. The next time you're in, like, where do you go? Chincoteague or whatever? It's a little bit of a hike. It's, like, actually probably about, like, 2 hours. But, like, you're closer there than you are from here. And it would be, like, a fun day trip if you, like, really wanted to do something cool. There's this place called Sugarloaf Mountain, Maryland. And it's, like, an old fort from like I forget like either the Revolutionary War or like the War of 1812 or something, but like it's like this old fort that's built into the side of this really big mountain. And I just remember when I was like dating my ex-girlfriend, we would go there on hikes, and there's like it just is like one of those like you're expecting this to be a big fucking like hill or like to have like a bunch of like signage or like something or like tours or whatever. It's like one of those parks where you just kind of left to your own devices, and like everything is like really well signed, but like without it being too like overt. It doesn't take away from the scenery, and like there's a good chunk of history in it, and there's just like a 360 panorama you get of like the entire surrounding area. You can see for miles off that shit.
That's cool.
It's really neat. Like it's one of those very like I very much enjoyed those hikes, like, and it's like you don't get the topographical change here so much because it's like real flat. Yeah, it's like there it's like you're going up about like I don't know, like 6,500 feet,
There was one that I wanted to do when I went to hockey
We're
camp
not
in Lake Placid. I forget what the mountain was called, but I went to this. You would stay at this dorm called like Northwood Academy. It was like a preparatory boys' school, and they had some like small mountain behind it. And one of like the group activities you would hike, and like you actually had to like scale like kind of a steep, sketchy wall towards the top, and like it was like a team bonding activity.
Yeah.
But my group never did it. Both years I went, I could find out the mountain's name if I looked up the school, Northwood Academy. Actually,
Morningwood Academy.
a couple famous NHL guys went there. It's like a prestigious hockey program, like
Yeah.
Mark Messier or something. One of the big Rangers guys from the 90s. That was like their claim to fame. Anyway, but yeah, Sugarloaf Mountain Range.
Sugarloaf
and
Mountain,
the
yeah.
Lake Placid Mountain. I want to climb that
Finger
too.
Finger
I
Lakes.
think you have to like go to the school to fucking, or go to the hockey camp. I'll enlist in that.
Both work.
Fucking 32 at a 16-year-old hockey
Hell yeah,
camp.
dude. You should just be like, I'm a coach, and then just like be like, no, I actually want to go.
I want to go on the climb, and that's it.
Yeah, man. What are you doing this summer? You got anything fun planned?
No, I have a fucking
I mean, with the fucking fam, like, I don't know. Like,
no, I don't think we're gonna probably won't go to Chincoteague this year. Maybe by like September or something. Probably not in the summer. Trying to convince the missus or persuade. I'm trying to get out to Pocono Raceway on July 14th.
is that where NASCAR is going to be?
Yes,
Okay.
I really want to go to that one. I've never been, but it's gonna be. Me and Autumn were talking about it. It's gonna be super fucking hot. Like that's a really hot July summer fucking day.
Yeah.
And it's a little further than Dover and traffic. It would be a whole day thing. Like I'd have to leave at like 8 a.m. and I wouldn't get home till like midnight.
Hell yeah.
That's really all I got on the radar as far as summer. Not much.
Yeah, I got work.
Just keeping the fucking kids alive.
I got work.
I'll probably go back to work in like towards the tail end of summer.
Okay.
Taking 3 months with the kiddo.
Hey,
So-
you taking maternity leave.
So yeah, that's why we've been Netflixing.
That's good. I mean, like,
No chill though.
Yeah.
It ain't been 6 weeks yet.
nah, you gotta wait. You gotta wait
That
another.
pussy's locked down, Joe Rogan.
You got a little bit of time till that
Been
thing.
putting
heals
ice
up.
on it.
feeding it ice
I
cubes.
got Tommy John surgery. It's out for a year.
Jesus Christ. You're just shoving fucking ice cubes up there.
You ever get your dick sucked by a man with ice cubes in his mouth, Lee?
Yeah.
Lee was like, no! He's like,
I
I'll
like.
tell you, I was at Central Park, 1982. I just saw Black Sabbath. This guy came up to me, sucked my dick with ice cubes. Nobody gets their feelings hurt. It's like the end of the story.
Cool. Yeah,
Lee is like squealing, like, woo!
I watched him break Theo Vaughn, where he's like, when you're a kid, buffets, they're great. But when you get older, it's like, come on now. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're going to die doing that. You're eating fish. What's the one with the chocolate fountain? Golden Corral. You're eating fish from Golden Corral. You're gonna
Steak and
die.
shit.
Yeah, stop. He's like, yeah, and like fucking Theo's just dying. He's like, 'cause he's talking about how like there used to be a Shoney's motel where if you stayed at the motel, you get a free buffet at Shoney's for like $16 or something like that. And like I know exactly where. Like there's one that's in New Orleans that the Shoney's itself is defunct, but they changed the hotel into a.
Someone beefed at us. I don't know if you heard it.
Thank
Probably
you for that's every beep is a like and a sub. That's
It's probably Shep.
yeah.
Heading home from work.
But no, like like the fucking Shoney's motel was like there. It was like all defunct, and it was like a different motel brand, but the Shoney's was there still, and they still had the sign, but it wasn't open. I still have never eaten at one. I've always wanted to. I've heard it's like
Eat
the
that
old,
buffet at Shoney's.
Well,
You
it's
gotta
like
get
it's
that
like
hummus off your neck.
what I heard is like it's like the old school Waffle House where it's like it's not like you're going there because the cuisine's good. You're going there because it's like you're probably gonna see a fight and like you're gonna get food for like $4 like per plate. Like it's not glorious, but you're gonna enjoy yourself.
There's a place like that in Chincoteague where you're not going to see a fight, but it's like the local Greasy Spoon, and like you're not going there for the good food or for like the cleanliness. It's
Or,
just
like, the
you're going to
service.
see some rednecks and like some just
What's the most
good
redneck?
people watching.
What's the most redneck place you've ever eaten? Like you and Aaron hit any place when you were down there at NASCAR the other day?
No, we stopped at Wendy's like once we got back into Jersey. We were
Okay.
stuck in traffic. There's not really redneck stuff in Dover. Like it's more just like kind of a
Ghetto.
shitty area. Yeah, it's really ghetto.
I used to go to this gas station in Parody when I lived in Louisiana that had they had hot lunch. It's like one of those places where I told you I always laugh at the fucking places that had hot lunch, but they actually had pretty good lunch. But they had like fried catfish, egg rolls, bacon baked biscuits, gravy, baked beans,
I just want to hear the
Barbecue?
person say bacon baked biscuits.
Well, okay, so like, yeah, it would be like we got bacon baked biscuits. We got baked beans that has pork in it. We got pulled pork barbecue platter trays for $10.25. Over here we got these fried okras. You can get a couple of fried okras. It's going to be about $5 a pound. It gives you about 12 okras. They're like, yeah, all the food was like decent. It was like better than I was expecting, but it was like every time I eat there, I just shit my fucking brains out because it's like it's not buffet, but it's like kind of like Subway where you just got like hot wells of stuff, and if you get there at the wrong time of day,
It's been
sitting there since like yesterday. And like, yeah, I got egg rolls there that used to be like 50-50. It's like, wow, these are perfect. These are hitting the spot, and then 50-50 like. Yeah, I'm gonna shit my brains
Sheets
before.
made me sheet immediately. We ate there in North Kakalaki.
Yeah, that's pretty redneck too. Sheets is like the
They have it in
Wawa's
PA,
dirty cousin.
though.
Yeah,
Like they're not just in the South. But I don't think. I mean, we went to like
so you have like a
Raleigh isn't super redneck. It's like a city. So like the places we went,
Hardee's, I guess, was like the most redneck.
I went to
fast
like
food.
Jersey Mike's Subs the one night or whatever, and got a sub like right by the hotel. We stayed at like a Marriott.
Yeah.
Like there was, I don't know. I'm not really too well versed in the South. I went to North Carolina that one time. I've been to like Chincoteague, Virginia. I've been to like one other campground in Virginia as a kid, but it was like a resort with like a water park. Like I don't know. I haven't been to any real redneck establishments. We drove by a bunch that piqued my curiosity when we were
That
going by
strip
like
club was the one that always piqued mine. That it's like
we went just by like strip malls, and it would just be like these defunct looking restaurants. It was just real weird, like random shit. Like it'd be like Korean crawfish or some weird like cross hybridization of two fucking blends.
There was one that was like jujitsu and pad thai or something like that. It was like it was like in Raleigh and like one of the strip malls near like one of the ghetto fucking Food Lions. Yeah, it was like jujitsu and like some food thing like
In one room we can wrestle, and then we can, once we're hungry, we'll go eat some chicken and rice.
Something like that. It was very fucking strange. I'm trying to think what else. There's like okay.
What's a stupid business idea where you're like, this is doomed to fail like in no time? There's certain ones.
All the restaurants I opened down there. Like,
not just restaurants.
pizzeria that serves fucking tacos. Get fucked, Dwayne. Fucking idiot.
I remember when escape rooms first became big, and like half of them are now defunct. I'm
Damn.
like, this is so stupid. Like,
yeah,
this is
that's
the
like, how you
dumbest
gonna turn? You sell nothing. You don't sell
rage
anything.
rooms, escape rooms. I used to be like, that's so
Rage
fucking
rooms
stupid.
rage rooms are different because that you could just go to a thrift store. Like you don't have to have nice things. You just have to go there and buy shit like at bulk, and then
I
be
think
like,
rage rooms are higher up than
Yes.
escape rooms.
I think
Escape
so.
rooms I always thought was stupid. Like I just same with all like the Yogo factories and shit like that. When there was just like just certain trends. Like I would notice it because I worked on the boardwalk in Ocean City, so I would just see like these random like tourist trap style things. Like it would just be like a beef jerky store. I'm like, you're so retarded. Like,
You're
that's
gonna fail.
never gonna last.
You're
Like,
gonna
it's just
fail.
like, and it wasn't even things that I necessarily disliked every time. It's just like, this isn't gonna be a viable. Like I salute you, your heart's in it, but like there's like the guy in Wayside Village. He owned a gelato shop.
Jay, you're on the pod. Oh, he just hung up on me.
But this guy loved gelato. He gave you the little spoon and the little thing, and it's just like, dude, there's Sweet Impressions, Custard Hut, Dairy Queen, all within like half a
what's
mile
up?
here. Like you're fucked. Like
Am I on the podcast
Yes.
again?
live and direct from Hollywood. It's Jay, Joe, whatever the fuck his name is, Scrocka.
Hey, Joe. They introduced me as Joe Sunoco one night at Punchline.
Well,
Nice.
you go by Joe
Joe
Scrocka
Sunoco.
Comedy, but I know you as Jay, so I get a little confused sometimes.
Oh, that's okay.
Everybody gets confused
How's
by
the
it.
podcast going? What's
don't-
our topic today?
It's a real stinker.
Right.
Aliens or automobiles?
Yeah.
Aliens or automobiles?
Well, aliens versus automobiles, but you got anything to add to that? You can tell that time.
Aliens versus automobiles now, because like I saw those UFOs leaving Cape May that one night. I mean, it was drunk and driving, but the statute of limitations is passed, and I can say that. But yeah, it was these colored things in the sky. They were buzzing towards the ocean, and then this white orb started chasing them. And it was not a hallucination. It wasn't if I took a hit off a bomb.
No, he was drinking.
Alien
He was
DUI
just
check.
he was drinking like an American when he saw his aliens.
Hell yeah.
No, why
What's
don't you tell him about when you listened to Art Bell Coast to Coast?
How did you get away from the chasing orb? It just let
It
off.
wasn't chasing. Not chase. It was chasing the other.
Oh,
the-
I thought they were on you. I was getting nervous.
No,
he was the
that would've
orb.
been cool. I was like pulled over on the parkway screaming, "We're being invaded!" I love it.
Well, why don't you tell him about when you listened to too much Art Bell and were scared to go inside? Do you know who Art Bell is?
Huh?
No.
Yeah,
Jay-
I know.
no, not you.
Art Bell used to be the host of
Coast to Coast. Yeah, and
Coast to Coast.
And Jay listened to too much Coast to Coast, which it was like a radio forum show where he would like have an open, we would call it open lines. He'd have people call in and tell like stories about like whatever the topic was. So it was like, I don't know what the topic was. I think you said it was like ghosts or something, and you were listening to it on the way home from the diner back to the old house. And Mom found him sitting in the driveway with the lights on in his car, and she was like, "Why didn't you go inside?" He's like, "I'm scared.
That's fair.
I listened to too much Coast to Coast."
I listen to creepy podcasts at night, and I'm scared to walk in from my shed to my house, and it's like a 10-foot walk. I get it, Jay.
Yeah, man, there's some real weird shit that they talk about on that. Not that I believe it, but it's believable at the time.
Get you spooked.
I was just telling him I watched Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and they had Bob Lazar on Joe Rogan not too long ago, and he was mentioning how he was at the Area 51 Site 4 thing where the way that they didn't give you ID cards because they didn't want something that was like tangible that had evidence. So a way of them figuring out like using your bio ID or whatever, they would have this thing that you put your hand into, and it would like take a photo and measure the length of your hand. And there's a guy that uses one of those in Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which I thought was really neat because that was like made in the 70s. And Bob Lazar didn't like go public with anything until the 90s.
Okay.
Thanks for the feedback, Jay. I know it was only one of your favorite movies from what you remember. I mean, Jaws is too. But
Joe's calling it some predictive programming there.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it was an okay movie. It wasn't one of my favorite movies. Jaws, Animal House, The Producers.
Yeah, 'cause Jaws-
Those are my.
Animal House is his favorite. He walks around in a toga every night.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
he was
And
upset-
I have no underwear underneath the toga.
Exactly. He was upset that his brief stint at Arizona State University wasn't anything like Animal House.
University of Arizona.
Or University.
I got into both places. I went to the University of Arizona for all 6 weeks.
Some weird bug
It was
behind
very much too hot in Arizona for me.
I can understand that.
you. It's a dry heat.
It is a dry heat, except his butt was
Yeah,
very
you
wet.
know what 130 is 130, so dry, wet,
Amen.
whatever. Yeah, dude.
It's hot as shit down there.
No air conditioning in the dorms. I would wake up every morning with, you know how you got dry throat? I had like dry chest. I almost had dry belly. Just up another half hour, I would have dry belly. That's how there. You know, it took like gallons of water just to rehydrate me, and that's before I could brush my teeth. So imagine what it tasted like drinking a gallon of water.
I don't know. You tell me.
It tasted like shit, like old snot running down the back of your throat.
Lovely.
Yeah,
Um,
disgusting.
Did you stop at the house?
I'm on my way.
Oh, you're
Are you at
stopping.
the house? Are you
Yeah,
at
we're-
the house?
yeah,
Where you
we're-
guys? You're at the house?
Yeah. All right, we're wrapping up because I gotta get moving. I gotta go over to work in a little bit. But
I gotta go eat
yeah.
cheeseburgers.
Yeah. What do you got to plug, Jay?
All right, so tonight I'm just doing an open mic at Joey B's up in Asbury Park. Friday I'm at the basement of Tommy's up in Bergenfield. Next Thursday's Anglesey Pub Show. I'm hosting 3 really great comics: Chris Wolf, Caitlin Clemens, and the other guy from New Jersey. His name is really funny. And then Friday I'm at the Church of Satire up in Hanover. Is that my audience? Are those my people clapping? Or did a pipe break at my house?
Both.
I can't tell the difference.
We're smoking a blunt. We didn't use the pipe today.
Joe's cleaning my pipes, Jay.
Jesus
I'm
Christ.
trying to finish up before you get home.
Yeah, we're starting the OnlyFans.
I'm a deeply closeted homosexual.
No, deeply
Hey, listen,
closeted.
You know what? If you make good money at it, you can pay me some rent. That's good.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna suck my own cock on camera and never leave the house again. Who needs women when you got everything you
Basically
need?
what this podcast
Yeah,
is.
basically patting myself on the back with the hand I jerk off with. I don't fucking know. What do we
All right, yeah, you guys are really be stoned. Oh,
called that one?
We're seeing aliens, Jay.
Yeah, we're speaking Spanish
listen,
and using lawnmowers.
A bunch of aliens just came over and cut your grass.
Get them out of my house. Get them out of my house before you guys leave. I
Get-
want no aliens there when we get there, all right?
Well,
Especially
they-
Spanish.
We had the lawnmower segment of the podcast because we're out back today, so we had all the mics.
Joe wanted
there.
to take a break while they did it, and I was like, no, let's just keep recording. This is funny. So it's just ambient lawnmower sounds while you can
See-
probably barely hear us talking for
Seeing
about 10
Mexicans
minutes.
walking behind us like the whole time with like fucking leaf blowers and weed whackers and shit.
With talking about like our academic history and
Yes, and
whatnot. Joe's application into Hofstra and
yes,
his follies with Mr. Wielden.
subsequent use of.
You guys are really reaching for topics. I could tell.
Trying to
You
kill
actually-
3
you
hours,
actually
Jay.
needed-
Why do you
you
think?
act-
Yeah. Actually, you know what? We are reaching for topics. Why do you think we take your call every time?
Oh,
Thanks so much.
he's doing us a favor.
Yeah,
He's not my father. He's the filler.
that's right. You're a middle.
You're the token black guy.
You are.
I am the token black guy. Yes, I am. Why do these assholes not go on green lights in Wildwood? I want to kill them all. I
Jesus
really do.
All right, that's
Please,
enough. That's the
some
road
dog-
rage segment for Jay. Love you. Drive safe. See you in a little bit.
All right.
See you,
All
Jay.
right,
Good
love
luck
you.
this week.
Thanks
Knock
for
him dead, buddy.
Thanks for having me on.
That's enough of that.
You just opied that. Oh, my face hurts from that fucking grin you just gave me doing that. Oh my
It's
god.
nothing better than just hanging up on.
Oh, dude, my head feels like it's gonna explode.
Me too. I gotta take
Just
a
like
leak.
belly laughed from that one.
All right, what do you got to plug?
Traction Motorsports, Brendan Shepard Racing. Good finishes this week. Good runs, boys.
Yeah, we're proud of you.
Stewart Handyman Service. Give them a shout. 609-338-9427.
HRS Design and Promotion, and I was breaking her balls the other day. I was saying, what the hell else? Dog sitting, something like that. I don't know. So, Autumn was expanding her enterprises. I suggested she should just do like a one-all for everything. It's like, yeah, like, you know, I'll design your website. I'll push promotion on Facebook. I'll wash your dog for you. You know, like, forget what it was though. Something to that effect. But HRS Design and Promotion. Autumn will make
We
your
gotta
shit
get you to take off Sunday, July 14th. Me and her were talking about if we're gonna go to Pocono or not. We should do me, you, Aaron, meet up with Tommy and Autumn over there at Pocono. You probably
Yeah,
have to put in for it now.
mid-July, absolutely
Put
not.
in for it now.
No,
Give 'em-
we
give 'em
have
your
four.
notice.
We have 4 people. No, we need 5.
So see those guys mowing your lawn? Tell them you're gonna pay them $20 an hour on a Sunday.
Fuck off.
Go to the Home
But
Depot.
I would like to, but yes, we'll play that by ear. And then K-Man.
That's a big fat no.
K-Man
Autumn.
609-425-3143. Today's my day off. I have to fucking go in there and do K-Man shit.
Right on.
We gotta go power wash. Yeah. But all right.
Make it a chore in the ladies' car.
I'm gonna go make a churro in the ladies' car. I'm gonna go
And
make-
shout out to Fox because it's their last weekend as the NASCAR broadcast. So very excited for NBC next week. That's all the rage in the NASCAR community. Thank God Fox is done.
NBC.
That kind of
Fox.
sounds like it. Hell yeah. That's how dubstep was created.
All right. Thanks for listening. Go fuck yourselves.
Bye.